Greetings, good evening, fellow ghouls and specters alike. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And SandyClaws.
Jacob Wile.
Here to engage in some haunted holiday hijinks by trudging through the catacombs and dusting off the cobwebs as we recount our spooky selection of Halloween classics.
So light the jack-o'-lantern, suit up, and grab the candy dish as we recount this year's penultimate selection. Goosebumps 2015. Viewers beware, you're in for a scare. Maniacal laugh. I'm Slappy. I'm a ripoff of Chucky, and I'm for some reason the most popular thing in this franchise. All right, that was just,
hey,
We're not laughing at the Tiki. We're laughing at how bad that was.
that makes Slappy unhappy.
oh god.
Slappy's not happy.
Okay, so how y'all doing? We are talking about Goosebumps 2015. Sandy, you have waited so long to talk about this movie. So long.
Over a year, to be exact.
Yeah, like we were going to do it. I kept pushing it off. Until finally I was like, you know what? Since it's so appropriate for Halloween, let's just give it a spot in the Haunted Holiday Hijinks. Let's make it an important episode. Let's make it the penultimate episode done towards the end of the month. So here we are, Sandy. How do you feel?
I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm eager to watch it with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to this one. So, I guess before we start the actual fan commentary for this thing, let's go round table. This movie has so much nostalgia, so much. Oh my god. I'll start with my overall thoughts and nostalgia and whatnot. I feel like this movie does what Jurassic World tried and failed to do, which is just completely recapture the magic of a franchise and do it in like a very loving, non-cynical kind of way. Because I feel like this movie it's like, I love the meta quality to this movie. I love the fact that it's actually like RL Stine, and RL Stine exists in this universe and whatnot, and like that's all really, really cool for me. I also love the fact that it's basically structured like a Goosebumps book. It's got the twists and turns of a Goosebumps book. It's got the stereotypical characters of a Goosebumps book. I love that about it. I really, really like the twist in the movie, and we'll talk about it as we kind of get into it, but I think the twist in the movie is really clever and ties into a famous Goosebumps book in a really interesting way. Could there be more Easter eggs? Yeah, sure, but you know what? What we got, I'm really happy with, and this movie did well at the box office, so I really want to see a sequel to this. I'm really looking forward to potentially seeing the sequel. And
Well, that is in the works, Tiki.
Cool. Glad to hear it. Explore stuff like the haunted mask, like monster blood. I actually have a theory about monster blood that we'll get into. But overall, I love this movie, and just Goosebumps in general, man. What is there to say? We already kind of went over it with Haunted Mask, but some kids had Harry Potter. Some kids learned to read with Harry Potter. I grew up reading Goosebumps. I mean, I grew up reading Harry Potter as well, but that was a little bit later for me. I was a Goosebumps kid. I absolutely love the series. I collected the books for the covers. I stayed for the stories. RL Stine was a very, Rod Serling-esque writer. Even though there were kids' books, they were still really suspenseful. They had a really, really vivid imagination to them. I would argue maybe the characters are kind of the weak point to the Goosebumps books, but the premises are definitely, the stories, the twists. It's all just such good stuff. And, of course, like I said, the covers are so memorable, so striking that, the Monster Blood Goosebumps print, all the different colors that the covers would be. I'm literally getting goosebumps talking about it right now. Like, I miss my childhood. I want my childhood back.
All the saturated colors of the cover of the colors of the covers.
Exactly. Oh man, I'm literally getting goosebumps talking about this right now. Literal goosebumps. Okay, Sandy, what is your nostalgia and thoughts on this movie?
Oh boy, like you, I grew up with these books. I hardly ever read them. I checked them out from the library just for the covers, and
So you were basically like an art enthusiast. You were like, "Oh yes, I'm going to go home and study this fine piece." Oh,
Let me rent this Picasso.
Well, in a way, yeah. And I'd flip through the book, always hoping that there would be some other kind of illustration in the book. There never was, though. But yeah, pretty much, I would just take it home and I would just look at the pictures because they're amazing. I'm pretty sure I would try to draw them. I can't really remember that much, but I remember the mummy one in specific. I was never fortunate enough to find a Night of the Living Dummy, but I guess that one's so dang popular it was possible. I have a lot of nostalgia tied to this. My hopes were set very high for this film. Did it meet all my hopes? I don't know. It did a lot of things that I was not expecting it to do, like practical effects and all those different types of things. That was a huge bonus because it really gave it that really nice Amblin-esque quality. Jack Black did a great job. I was not expecting the whole Jack Black thing to turn out well, but it did. It turned out pretty well.
He's great. He's fantastic. Yeah. This is one of my favorite Jack Black performances.
Yeah, and I love Slappy too in this movie, and Jack Black as Slappy. I think that fits. But in the fact that Slappy is modeled after Jack Black too.
Right.
That was great. One thing that still just really bugs me, and always has ever since I saw it last year when it came out, was just the fact that we see so little of the monsters and they get so little screen time. Like the last 15 minutes, they finally all come out. And that just bugs me because
I don't necessarily think that's accurate, Sandy. I don't think the last 15 minutes they all come out.
Maybe like 20 minutes. Like you see them all in the last like 15
minutes.
They
don't come out till the third act.
Well, I guess, exactly. But I don't necessarily think the whole movie has to be all the monsters. I like how we get a build to all the monsters. It's like I feel like there's action all strewn throughout it. With the snowman. I don't know. I'm sorry, Sandy. I'm derailing your whole point. I'm sorry.
That's okay, and I'm glad you made that point because I see it from that point of view too. This is like a new Goosebumps story, so it's not
exactly
right. Not going to have all the Goosebumps characters, and they're going to introduce some new ones as well.
Can I give you an example of like a Goosebumps book that I vividly remember the cover being way cooler than the actual story?
What's that?
Okay, it's called what's it called? Deep Trouble.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's the cover of it is like this diver and then this giant shark that like can dwarf jaws. He's so big.
Yeah, the big hammerhead shark.
Right, the hammerhead shark, yeah. And then Sandy, I swear to God, if you actually read the book, that shark is only like one chapter in the middle of the story, and the actual story is about like finding some sunken treasure from some pirates.
Yeah, I believe that.
So it's just kind of like, I feel like a lot of the time, like, of course, we've talked about stuff like The Haunted Mask and One Night at Horrorland and stuff like that really, really holds up. I mean, those stories, I could go back and read those books and still kind of get creeped out by them. But a lot of the time, Sandy, it is very much kind of like a goofy sort of, we'll have like a gimmick to kind of hook you into the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you, but I have so much
okay.
I just felt for this, and I just kind of wanted to make that point about that deep trouble thing.
Yeah, this is what this is all about. A roundtable talk.
Sure.
I think that's done. I have some backstory on this later, but
okay.
Yeah, I'm done.
Jacob.
Well, for those of you that were with us on the Haunted Mask vlog podcast, you know that was basically my first ever introduction to seeing or reading anything to do with Goosebumps. Obviously, I've heard of them my entire life. I've had several friends who read them, and read the books and watched the series, but I never actually got into it myself.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
I was busy doing other things and never really got into Goosebumps. And I haven't really done anything since the Haunted Mask either. Honestly, but it's definitely something I can see like something I would have really liked as a child actually, and something I kind of even like seeing now.
I think it's definitely a predecessor to Gravity Falls.
Yeah, kind of.
What is?
Goosebumps.
What do you mean?
Just the whole idea of like spooky supernatural stuff going on within the context of a kids show. I think Goosebumps kind of paved the way for it.
It's kind of a bug, Tiki.
What about like Twin Peaks, other things like that?
Twin Peaks was definitely not a kid show, though.
I know it's like pretty much based on.
Yeah, but I'm saying Goosebumps kind of set the precedent for like really, really creepy kind of imagery on. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, like, as popular as Goosebumps was. I mean, there was other stuff, like, there's Are You Afraid of the Dark? Of course, Courage the Cowardly Dog, which we all love. Thanks, John, for doing the interview, of course. But, Goosebumps was just a phenomenon. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. That's the point I'm trying to make, is those books were such a... Like, you guys don't understand, but those books were Harry Potter before Harry Potter. I guarantee you they were that popular.
Trust me, Tiki. I know I knew people that wouldn't shut up about them.
Right. Of course.
I think you're right on one thing, Tiki. I think they kind of paved the way for horror comedy children's books. I wouldn't necessarily say scary imagery because the books without illustrations and the TV show was just kind of cheesy. I don't really get what you're going on about there, but nonetheless, I digress.
But going on with what I was saying, like I said, I grew up during the phenomenon. It's like obviously when it was in its later years and like kind of on its way out when I was younger. When I was growing up and hearing about it for the first time, Goosebumps were kind of on their way out. If you remember if you know what I mean.
Okay, I hate to play the seniority card, but I'm a little bit older than you guys, so I remember Goosebumps in its prime. So that's kind of what I'm trying to say.
You're the lunchbox, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I was like growing up on when it was on its way out, and I never really got into it. Plus, I never really got them from the library, nor did my family own any, I don't think.
Let me put it this way. Goosebumps exploded, like, right when I was learning how to read. So that was, like, it was a perfect time for me. Like, right when Goosebumps blew up was right when I was getting interested in reading.
Yeah.
I think we might have owned other RL Stine books. I mean, I know he's written a lot of other books than Goosebumps, but...
Yeah, it's crazy how much work that guy has done.
Yeah, but I don't think we ever had any Goosebumps book for Goosebumps per se. But like I said, obviously, I knew about them, and I just never really got into them until I watched The Haunted Mask for this show. Mm-hmm. But I said, and this movie definitely did intrigue me. I mean, I liked the concept of it. I mean, like it kept me definitely invested. I mean, it definitely got more interesting once the Abominable Snowman showed up. But then it was just like kind of like okay, but no, it definitely hooked me, and I'm glad I actually watched it. I mean, like I'm really impressed with like what they were able to pull. Like I really appreciate the visual style of it. It's like it's not trying to be uber realistic with the look of the monsters, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
You bring up the snowman, which I think he's overused in the film.
I'm not going to deny that. I'm just saying, but he was the first monster to show up, and I'm just saying once he showed up, that's when the movie started to get more interesting to me.
It's kind of funny because I don't even remember The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena being that popular of a Goosebumps book.
Well, maybe this is their way to make him popular.
I guess so. It definitely is. But I do remember the cover, though, and I love the way they emulated the cover in the end credits.
Yeah, that was great. And Jacobus actually did that himself. He drew that cover himself of Jack Black.
God.
Yeah, but he wasn't expecting it to be animated.
Oh, no. Yeah. The fun little fact here, I guess I should mention, is that whole end credit scene was a surprise to him. They were saying, or we're going to do this really cool stuff with your artwork. And he was thinking, oh, what's all this stuff? And finally, I think it was at the premiere that he was watching it. And he was like, oh my gosh, all my stuff.
So cool. It's so fucking cool.
I'm just glad that the people who actually, worked on Goosebumps like Jacobus and Stine actually approved of this.
Yeah.
I love Stine's cameo.
That's great. Hello, Mr. Black.
That's just pretty cool. I mean, like, it's always nice when like an author approves of their work and even like guest stars in their work. I really like that. But overall, I said
I'm
Jack
wondering
Black,
if J.K. Rowling's going to have a cameo in Fantastic Beasts.
that'd be awesome.
Anyways, I'm sorry, Jacob. Go ahead.
I mean, I wouldn't call this Jack Black's best performance. I still think probably his best performance would either be in School of Rock or King Kong, even. But
I like him in King Kong. I think I'll give the edge to this, though. School of Rock, you can make an argument for, though.
Yeah, School of Rock's a good.
School of Rock is probably my favorite Jack Black film. That isn't probably my favorite Jack Black film that isn't Kung Fu Panda.
I would actually wager
to take Kung Fu Panda out of the running. I mean, come on, Kung Fu Panda is a different beast entirely. I mean, you know.
I know. I said that isn't Kung Fu Panda. I mean, because that's just a voice. But
I would say School of Rock is probably like I have more nostalgia for this, but School of Rock is probably the better movie.
I think.
But he definitely gives an interesting performance here as R.L. Stine. Like they did take a clever take on his character.
That's the thing, Jacob. This performance is really it's quirky. I personally don't think this was his best performance. I think it's probably the one he's had the most fun with. I mean, doing Slappy and all that crazy stuff with monsters. It's probably it
actually kind of reminds me of how R.L. Stine acted in the TV series.
What do you mean?
I mean, like
in
how
the TV when he would do his Rod Serling style introductions.
Yeah.
That's not really anything like this, though.
I just think he took it to another level. I think he this is how R.L. Stine would kind of be as a character.
I think his overall demeanor is kind of like R.L. Stine, but his performance is a little more over the top than R.L. Stine was in the TV show.
Well, yeah. I mean, I like how the movie doesn't really take itself too seriously. I mean, that's
yeah.
I mean, it's very meta, and I like that. I mean, obviously, I have some issues with this movie. We'll get to that, but I said overall, it's a very fun movie to see. I mean, like, I definitely recommend it to someone who's like, I wouldn't say it's exactly scary, but it just has.
It shouldn't be too scary.
No, but it's definitely an interesting movie to see. I mean, like, I definitely glad I watched it.
Okay, Dragon.
Yeah, real quick. I don't really have a lot in terms of. I'm kind of nostalgic. I'm kind of shielded against the nostalgia for this film because I've kind of kept Goosebumps at an arm's length, and that I have all this respect and admiration for Goosebumps and what it's done as a franchise. You know, like I remember as a kid, you know, the book fairs and stuff, seeing Goosebumps, all over the shelves, and like Scholastic, and just I gotta tell you, I'll admit when I was watching the film, I saw Scholastic in the credits, and just like saw it here and there, it's like, oh yeah, that's.
Oh man,
like I said,
I want my childhood back.
But seriously, I do respect what Goosebumps does, and you're right. It holds a very important role in just kind of literature for not only for children, just kind of basically if you're gonna do something like with Scholastic, then that you have all these books you're trying to get kids to get interested in reading and everything. That's all nice and good, but you have quality writing in that. That's also really important. I mean, while I haven't really had a lot of experience, I mean, I might have read it was years and years ago. I might have read a book or two. I can't quite recall, unfortunately, but I mean, I remember like the imagery we have. Again, like with you guys, it's mainly the covers I remember more than the stories. That's kind of the thing because it's been so many years, and I'm more interested in the media. I've like kind of clicked in and out of the Goosebumps, of some of the Goosebumps shows and stuff. But again, I never really watched it all the way through. This is the first thing I've watched all the way through, like Goosebumps, and I was kind of going in kind of nostalgically blind to this. Again, aside from the covers, which you got a whole boatload of awesomeness on the ending, but. Basically, overall, this film really 50-50 on that. Like 50% of it, I was hoping it was going to win me over more than the 50% of this. I did like because again, I think there's a lot of potential here, and I was kind of hoping he was going to live up to like the three title characters you see on screen now. I think these three were excellent. They're kind of the trio I really liked in the movie. Basically, on screen right now is a lot of stuff I really liked. That Slappy and these three, and I think they turned really good performances. And again, like. My favorite thing in this whole film is the dynamic between Stine and Zach. Dylan Minetti, I thought was a really surprising performance. Like, man, I really like this kid. Kind of like how I like Lucas Till from the X-Men franchise and MacGyver right now. Again, he's like one of those kind of young actors kind of popping up now. Wow, this guy's really good. You and I have actually seen this guy before in Fred Claus. He was the kid from the orphanage saying, "You know what? God. You don't know. He's grown up to be a fine actor." Far better than his show days, but then again, it was like one really bad line, so I can't really judge him that harshly for it. My point is, I came into this blind.
He kind
my
of
problem
reminds me
is
of like a younger Will Poulter. Will Poulter from what was he in? He was going to be in It. He was the person that everyone wanted to be in It, wanted to be Pennywise.
anyway.
Not important. I'm sorry.
So, what was I saying? Anyway, so I was going to this, into this blind. I did kind of see again. I kind of get the gist of Goosebumps. It's supposed to. It's kind of child-friendly scares, but again, still like it's not holding back and kind of the uniqueness of the idea. You know, again, it's like really creative stuff. That's with the kind of like the foe or monster of the book. And I saw some of that brought the scream. Just hoping he's going to sell me a little bit more on. My main problem is I think there's. While again we're presented with some cool stuff, I'm sure if I were a big Goosebumps fan, I would be really picking up on more of the cameos and stuff. But going into it blind like that, I think I don't know. Going into it blind, I'm just looking more towards what the story is presenting me directly, and again, that's what's not winning me over. I think the story has too many holes and too many issues with it for me to get over that 50% barrier of I like what they're presenting here. Is they're not tying into a story for me. There's not as much of a story as I would hope. It's real general, a lot of holes in it. So we'll get into that, I guess. But again, I love the performances from these three. There are a few characters in this I don't like. I will say this though, with the exception of I guess the two characters I'm really not thrilled with in this piece, I think it's extremely well cast. I think again everyone's doing a great job except for two characters we'll get into.
I have a feeling I'm going to be the one defending champ.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me neither.
You bring up those plot holes, Dragon, and I completely agree with you. That's one of the reasons why, back when I saw it first, I was like, what? Like, there are so many plot holes in this movie. Like you said, it was just difficult for me to enjoy it. Just the whole backstory of Jack Black / RL Stine, this made-up story here, and the thing with Jack's dad is, which of course we'll get into, but...
And here's the frustrating thing, Sam, sorry I hate to interrupt, but I think we're kind of getting to the same place here. I think the really frustrating thing is that, again, like with a line here and there, like especially with Jack Black's, RL Stine's backstory, I think I have a little pitch in here for a single line might be able to kind of justify a more just very simple simple line, but also we could have tied these into because I love the dynamic between those two characters. It really could have strengthened the overall movie perhaps. And again, going into this thing, the only thing I really had going into it because I've never seen the trailer for this, and the trailer seemed like, oh boy, this seems like a really forced kids film. Again, it wasn't that in the end. It seemed like it had a good notion, a good place where it was coming from. It just didn't fully deliver what I was hoping it was going to bring me.
Yeah, and which gets to this other little thing I want to bring up here before the film, because it doesn't really have anything to do with what's inside the film. But going to the theater, seeing this, it seemed like it was just this very, very small film, like compared to everything else that was out. It seemed like it was just, it was in the back. It was shy. It wasn't doing much. It did well. It did pretty well.
It was #1 for most of October.
Yeah,
because Goosebumps is a very well-known name, and of course it's going to draw a big crowd.
And I don't think there were many other kids films around that time. Like, it's Hotel Transylvania 2, which I think this definitely tops.
Yeah, I would see Hotel Transylvania 2 over Goosebumps, and again, Hotel Transylvania 2 does have a lot of redeeming qualities to it.
It does. I
still haven't seen the Hotel Transylvania movies.
Because 2 is more Tartakovsky style, and I really like that. It's less Sandlerian elements, more Tartakovsky. It's basically seeing a CG kind of Tartakovsky monster movie.
Yeah, the film grossed, Goosebumps grossed $150 million, had a budget of $84 million. So it did very good. It did pretty well, but again, it just seemed like it was just small, and then it just went away. There was no merchandise. There was no merchandise.
Did they at least put the books back out in the market? It's like, hey, here are new editions of it. You're just throw it out there.
If they did, they slapped the covers on.
I don't think so. I think they put out new books because they have the whole Horrorland series going on now.
Yeah, and they had a video game, and they had maybe like a couple bobbleheads of Slappy that came out in Canada.
you know the age-old video game. Like, hey, we got a movie coming out. We need a game too.
Actually, that's not nearly as prominent as it used to be 10 years ago.
Yeah, it used to be.
I know, no, Dragon, I completely know. Like, I rented Catwoman, okay? I rented Catwoman.
Well, you poor.
I was morbidly curious.
Well, you're morbid, all right. I'll give you that.
Back to my point.
There's been some good movie games.
Incredible Hulk, yeah, that was a good one.
Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, you're right.
Spider-Man 2.
And 3. 3 is also a good game, too. It's not
Spider-Man 2 set the precedent. And
you're right. I'm just saying 3 is the space. 3 Spider-Man 2 better controls. That's the only difference.
Back to my point here. There was no merchandise. I was actually expecting bobbleheads or like Funko Pops or something.
Yeah.
Of the characters. I also really wanted some action figures as well. That's just me though.
Well, I always want the action figures when the movies come out. They don't make them near like Deadpool because of such a. Unfortunately, Deadpool doesn't have any action figures because they were just so kind of bare bones, and I think Marvel might have some claim on the merchandising rights for Deadpool. So, pretty much, the Deadpool movie had no merchandising whatsoever.
No, Deadpool did fine without it.
It did, but it could have made a lot more because people love buying Deadpool merchandise. Now Marvel's getting all the cash for the movie's hard work.
Well, there was a thing going around about the Goosebumps about how they didn't know how the film was going to do, so they didn't want to put a bunch of money into merchandising. But now that they're getting a sequel, people are starting. Rumors are going around that they're going to actually start making a bunch of merchandise for it.
Yep.
Which I hope is true. I hope it's true.
Well,
300 books worth of merchandise.
I guess that's kind of a smart move.
Yeah. Though a little bit more merchandise the first time around would have been greatly appreciated.
Get your RL Stine brand glasses.
Do you have any more background, Sandy?
Oh, have we gotten to background yet?
Yeah. I've summarized my thing. If you got anything else to add on the making of this, Sandy, by all means.
Okay. All right, so I have this little thing typed out here. So back in the 90s, after the hit of Stine's Goosebumps books, film studios were eager to make a feature film. In fact, at one point, Tim Burton was even thought to direct it, but it was never decided what book it would be about. This went on for years and years, over a decade, until finally in 2013, I think, it was confirmed that there was going to be a movie, finally, except, of course, it would include all the monsters and not just focus on one single book. And, of course, integrating the character of R.L. Stine and everyone. The movie would be directed by Rob Letterman, starring Jack Black as R.L. Stine, and written by Darren Lemke. Black had become interested in the part when Letterman had mentioned he'd be making the movie, since they also did Gulliver's Travels together.
And Shark Tale.
And, really? Oh, okay, well, let's not mention that.
Both of those are so bad.
That's what I'm saying. That's where my
movie that's coming from. Those.
Hey, wait, we got this out of it. And if it wasn't for Gulliver's Travels, then we might have not gotten Jack Black Goosebumps.
Fair enough.
So Jack had vowed to play an evil version of Stine, and even got Stine's approval and everything. They met up, and they got along really well. Because he vowed to play an evil version, because let's face it, Stine is not very interesting emotion-wise.
No, he's not.
And he kind of got his wish with Slappy.
For writing much horror novels, he's just like, got a dog's like, yeah.
now I got the mail.
Goosebumps. I'm RL Stine. Let me tell you about this haunted mask.
What if they got Stine to play himself in the movie, and Slappy was like the puppet version of Stine, like totally bland,
like Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Slappy's not happy.
Like, hey Stine.
Let me tell you a spooky story, children. Oh God.
So
look at my residuals. Someone look at my residuals.
Stop it, Stine. Stop it.
The movie finally came out on October 16, 2015, released by Sony Pictures Animation and Columbia Pictures, and has now a sequel has now been confirmed. The film had $84 million budget and grossed over $150 million. Yeah, that's it. No merchandise was made. I wish it was. Yeah, let's get into this movie.
Okay,
Good.
folks, so like always with our commentary tracks, we're going to do our level best to provide something that you don't necessarily need to be watching the movie to appreciate, just a really good back and forth discussion. But if you do want to watch the movie, go ahead and get your streaming device or buy, the archaic DVD player or Blu-ray if you still have one of those, and get it to timestamp 000, and I will count up to 3 and say go. And when I say go ahead and press play, and hopefully it'll sync up right. All right, you guys all ready?
Sure am.
Yep.
Okay, let's do it. Goosebumps in 1, 2, 3, go! Viewers beware, you're in for a scare! Especially because it's coming from Sony! It's the most scary image in the movie, the Sony logo! It's so scary!
All right, calm
Are you
down.
done?
Well, let's listen to this beautiful Elfman music.
This is not beautiful Elfman music. This is the Columbia TriStar logo.
Well, I know, but it's coming.
I mean, it's a very nice tune, but...
Yeah. Who misses the Columbia pictures and the what
I
was
still have a lot of nostalgia for that logo in front of the Spider-Man movies, though.
Yeah. What about the one with the horse, the TriStar logo
Yeah, that's
alongside
TriStar, yeah.
Yeah. Mr. B.
This is Elfman here.
Yeah, here we go.
Netflix,
Glockenspiel or whatever that is.
Netflix screwed up. Where are you guys?
Oh, no.
I got an hour 42 and 18 seconds left.
All right, let me know
And
when you get to
counting.
42 then.
Boom, 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 boom,
42.
boom.
All right. Oh, it's such good music.
Just the theremin here is perfect.
Hour 42.
Now.
Okay.
All right, so this is very kind of Bates
must say
Motel.
This opening shot is definitely an homage to the opening shot of the Goosebumps intro, I would say. Right, Sandy?
I don't know. That's not
Because
what
I
I
think
thought
the Goosebumps intro has, like, it's got a bunch of shots like this of, like, wide open landscapes and trees and stuff like that.
These are some very long credits.
I guess the first shot. I don't think that's what they're going for. I think they're going more for like a Beetlejuice like '80s type opening.
Like I was joking when I was watching for the first time. It looks oddly Bates Motel-esque.
It does.
Moving to a new town.
Yeah,
mother
moving
and
to a new
son in
town.
the car.
With
Son's not too
just the mother.
And those are some very long opening credits.
No, seriously, I love the casting for these two are really well cast. You got Zach and Gale. Zach is Dylan Minetti, and Amy Ryan, who's famous for being Holly on The Office.
Mhm.
Yeah, the opening credits
She was
weren't
good.
that long. I mean, I think Beetlejuice is probably longer than that.
I know. Have you seen?
Well, they're still
Superman?
not at the house yet.
Superman. Have you seen Superman's opening credits? Good
Better
music,
not
but
badmouth
damn, those
the
credits
credits.
are forever.
And I love how they don't like overly saturate the whole like social media, Instagram, selfie thing.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Now, I will give the movie credit here. Again, this is like stuff I really like. I like we have kind of a classic, and correct me if I'm wrong here, it seems like a classic Goosebumps for us, moving to a new town, neighbors,
exactly.
the creepy neighbors leading to shenanigans.
Dragon, you're absolutely on point. Yeah, all of that is just, it's very much in the realm of, like, pretty much like par for the course of a Goosebumps story. Like,
It's just
new
a-
kid in town, creepy neighbors.
This creepy neighbor happens to be the author of Goosebumps.
Of course.
So yeah, like all this is still one of those win me over, even as just kind of an alien to the Goosebumps Goosebumps franchise. Like, well, okay, this seems like I like where they're going here. We're kind of in some kind of very kind of children's fiction territory here, as well as again for everyone.
Nice house, I must say.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a really nice house.
Soon to be made really annoying by this next actress.
I don't think it's that
I
bad.
Yeah.
don't mind her. I really
It doesn't.
don't.
I'm not crazy about her. She's from 22 Jump Street, but regardless, I'm not crazy about the action. The writing's not helping her character here.
22, I like 22 Jump Street though.
No, I'm not holding. I'm not in the movies. I'm just not crazy about her character in 22 Jump Street. I'm not crazy about this actress. She doesn't really grab me. And the writing's not helping her in this case. I kind of like. However, I will say later on, I like kind of the cute banter she and RL Stine have. I do like that.
That's what I think saves the character, and honestly, I think the character's pretty fun overall.
I don't see how is she fun.
Because she's like the fun aunt that's trying too hard to be the fun aunt.
She's dumb as a sack of bricks.
Yeah, she's dumb as a sack of bricks, and R.L. Stine is really smart. I don't really like that they get together in the end.
I like it mostly for I like that Stine found somebody. That's why I like the cuteness of Stine he's been alone for so many years, he's found someone.
Right.
Again, this bedazzling thing is
I cracked up so hard with this. His expression is just his gaping jaw.
This hat is pointless New York exposition. Okay, he likes the Yankees. I get it.
Yeah, I'll agree. The hat's not.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Why it's pointless. It's not just the fact that he's wearing a bedazzled hat. It's the fact that he's they know he doesn't like it. It's not even like a Christmas story. Don't hurt the aunt's feelings. Say, hey, take it off. We know you're gonna burn it if you take it off. Well, no, everyone knows you don't like it.
Nitpick.
That's not a nitpick. It's
No, I don't
the
think
ant.
it's much of a nitpick.
All right, this box ticks me off because it's really.
Why is the box off?
It's like, come on, that wasn't even taped shut. You don't even see tape on the box.
But you just could have just busted open from the bottom. That thing happens.
Whatever.
So again, she's good. Odia, what is it? Odia Rush? Is that the name?
Rush.
Yeah, I think she was good in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she and him have a natural chemistry. I really like from the get go. They feel they have instant kind of banter, and they kind of warm up to each other. It's not a forced romance. There's a developing friendship between the neighbor kid and the new person neighborhood and the neighbor. Now,
Tiki, this is something you mentioned earlier that Hannah's she's the monster from the ghost.
No. Okay, she's the main character from The Ghost Next Door.
Yeah.
And she's not the ghost, but she becomes a ghost at the end.
Well, she's a ghost through the entire film. It's revealed halfway through, isn't? I mean.
Oh yeah, you're right. No. I'm sorry. It's no, Sandy, that's not right. It's there's a neighborhood friend who's the ghost. But she becomes a ghost to be with him at the end of the book.
But what? No.
Yeah.
Let me say this about R.L. Sorry, Sandy.
I remember I watched the episode, and the episode there's a ghost girl named Hannah, but she thinks she's real until the very end.
Okay, that could be it then. I'm just mistaking it. Regardless, Hannah, the ghost, is totally a Goosebumps character.
All right.
Totally classic canon Goosebumps.
And that helps me out too, just appreciating it. She's not just some female just to be there to be a female character, lead female character in the film.
Mm-hmm.
She's an actual monster from the book.
I think it's a really good twist.
Yeah, I thought she was made for the film in specific, but I know.
I had to look up. I had to look up the name of the girl in the Ghost Next Door, but when I did, I think it's a pretty obvious connection when you put the pieces together.
Yeah, I put the pieces together for over a year.
Let me say this about the dead father angle. I think could have been a little stronger. Again, it's a decent payoff later on, but I just think if for that payoff to be fully kind of really felt, I think if
can't be an Amblin-esque film without some daddy issues, Dragon.
Anyway, but I like how it comes back. I just wish that could have been strengthened if the father thing was a little bit more in the plot.
Yeah, I actually kind of think the dad stuff is an afterthought, too. I actually kind of think maybe the story would work better if the dad just walked out on them, honestly.
No. I think I like how it's later on it's going to be Stine and Zach kind of bonding. They both have been they kind of isolated themselves, and they're kind of, in some ways, they've lost people. He's lost his father, and he's clinging to someone who's not there.
Now, in the deleted scenes, there's actually a whole bunch of other stuff that happens with Jack at school getting bullied.
Really?
And
that out.
Well, it's more of him and Champ bonding, I guess, becoming better friends. But I'm glad they cut it out, too, because we already have enough of that crap.
I mean, I like the plot device of how Champ comes into the fold. I like the idea we'll give him a little card with information. Okay, that's how it comes back, and that's how it kind of gets. Unfortunately, my big problem with Champ is that he holds absolutely no purpose. He helps the plot in no way.
Yeah, it's just
In no way.
He is a stereotype. He is a stereotype of a Goosebumps character, though. So,
like, the only thing that he could have helped with that he doesn't is like, okay, well, he's a fan of Goosebumps. His knowledge just in no way pays off.
Yeah, like it would have been better if he could like give tips on how to like
Yeah.
defeat the monsters and stuff like that. Like he could be like the nerd with all the books. Like
But
yeah,
okay, I will say that would be a better, like, because I do like the fact that he is kind of like the fanboy of RL Stine.
Yeah,
And
and
I do
that,
think
That's also what Stine is for, the knowledge of Goosebumps.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's just completely pointless. We don't need him.
I love that shirt.
The moment I saw this guy, the shirt he's wearing, I was like, oh no, I'm going to hate this guy.
I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. Again, just right from the get-go. Hi, chump. She's absolutely right with that misnomer. He is a chump. Again, it's the performance on the... It's weird. An interview. I watched a little bit of one interview with the three young actors, and I got to tell you, his performance in the interview was a lot better than it was in the movie.
Okay, you got to understand though. Every Goosebumps book has the goofy side character.
That serves no point. That serves no purpose to the plot.
Yes, that serves no purpose to the plot.
That is dragged along. That not.
All right, fart jokes. Come on.
Yeah, again, like you think middle school, not high school. I think we're gonna be on that a little bit in high school. Oh, hey, Tiki, you're telling me you recognize him.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys went to high school, but yeah, that stuff would happen.
Yeah, I believe it too.
I mean, that stuff would totally happen.
Just the fact that it's so random, it's out of nowhere, and it goes away so quickly.
No, Tiki, seriously, Ken Marino, the gym teacher.
I did remind me who he's from, though. I did recognize him.
Agent Carter?
Agent Carter. What character?
Oh,
I don't like this twerking.
Isusa?
Mention of twerking here. I don't like that.
yeah, the twerking joke is really dumb because it's like you think she means tweeting, but then she just threw it up in the notes somehow. I don't like it.
Well, I mean, like, you notice no one in the movie left, no one in there left either. I don't think it was meant to be funny.
Yeah, it's just really.
Well, I know, but it just the fact that doing twerking is never funny. It's never meant to be funny, but it's just the fact that they bring it up in the film.
One of the big black marks on my generation, I think.
Yeah. It just dates the film. It doesn't stand out like that much, but it dates. That's the kind of stuff.
Been around for a
Manfredi,
while.
Tiki. It was Manfredi from Agent Carter.
I know, but
Okay.
It's been around for a while, but it hasn't been around forever. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm sorry, Dragon. That guy wasn't around for both seasons of Agent Carter.
But he was. We love Manfredi.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Anyway. Anyway, right here, I really love the the chemistry these two have. It feels like really natural. Like, okay, these two kind of become fast friends, and they kind of become involved in each other's stories. So I kind of buy how this kid gets wrapped up in all the RL Stine stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the thing I like most about the Zach character, I kind of like that he's kind of our straight man, kind of our hero of the story in a way.
I mean, I don't like him as much as you do, Dragon, but he is very much kind of the straight man. I don't think he has as much personality as you're giving him credit for, though.
I don't know. I like that he's not following any cliches or anything. It's like, he's not like kind of like the whole. He makes really smart moves. I think what they might be. I think
he is kind of a cliche, though. He's just kind of the cliche, like boring straight man.
Yeah, I kind of.
Well, here's what I liked about him. I like that. I think this is what they might be going for. Is that with the New Yorker thing, I think it has a kind of New Yorker kind of city sensibilities in the suburbs here, kind of makes him an asset in these crisis situations. Could be a stretch, I know. I'm just saying later.
She's not too much of a cliche.
I think she's the most original character in the movie, to tell you the truth.
Well, yeah.
And again, it's more so.
It all kind of depends on like the little Easter egg-ish quality of the twist. So.
Yeah, it's more like Zach in parallel to other characters where he really shines. I'll admit, like him and him paired with Stine. I mean, that's when they're really kind of.
I will agree. Him and Stine is a fantastic pair. I love that character.
Guys, look how shaky the camera work is in this scene. Look at how shaky it is. That throws me off. It's just the camera work is so.
I don't think it's that bad. Have you seen Cloverdale? No, you haven't, because I haven't released it
Cloverdale?
online, but it's awful.
Well, I know, but that's
It's my student film, Jacob. It's my parody of Cloverfield.
Don't bring up such obscure works, Tiki.
I mean, this is a film. It's supposed to a professional film released by.
Have you seen Man of Steel?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Dragon. Thank you.
Okay, I haven't, but nonetheless, camera work should be.
I'm
nice
saying
and
I'm not
clean.
complaining about it. I can live with shaky cam. I've lived through a whole film of it.
Okay, but regardless of the shaking cam, can we just agree this is a fucking awesome location?
Yes,
It
the
is.
location. Let me say this: the locations in this film are really good. I love the majority of our locations here.
This is very Amblin. This is very Amblin.
You know what though? I think it's slightly a missed opportunity that they didn't call this Horrorland. That they didn't have some kind of Horrorland tie-in to this.
I think it's more
you're right.
It's more like a homage to Horrorland.
It is an homage to Horrorland, yeah, but I just kind of like, I don't know, like I'm thinking the sequel will maybe kind of touch more on the more like Horrorland and Haunted Mask and that kind of stuff, which is more the franchises, the Goosebumps that are still continuing on to this day.
But the question is, will the sequel actually follow these characters, or will it be something completely different?
That's the big question.
It'll follow them, I'm sure. I mean,
Well, I could still have Jack Black, but not
I
necessarily.
wouldn't mind if it was Jack Black and then a completely different cast aside from Jack Black. I wouldn't mind that.
What about Hannah?
Well, yeah. Okay, let me just say, I could never climb this Ferris wheel, ever. No, just watching it. I would never do that, like, ever. Oh, God. I hate Ferris wheels, guys.
I'm sure run off with this weird girl and climb up on a rusty
Okay, and the fact that, let me just say, the fact that she has her feet up there like that is bad, because that's going to tip that car. No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I have a fear of Ferris wheels, man. I will go on any roller coaster.
Remember,
you saw that.
This thing's stuck, so it wouldn't.
It doesn't matter if it's stuck, Dragon. The car can still...
I'm not Dragon.
I know you're not. It doesn't matter if it's stuck. The car can still sway, because they have those warnings on Ferris wheels. Warning, do not sway the car. They have that for a reason.
Well, Tiki kills the moment. Can I bring up something nice about the scene?
Go ahead.
I think the amusement park is a really nice set because it's kind of a mix of the eerie and unusual. Importantly, it's about finding the charm in it, which I think is kind of the thing that Stine really goes for. It's kind of finding the charm in the midst of like all the kind of terrifying stuff going on. It's like it's eerie. It's kind of it's a collective, but there's kind of a fun to it.
Yeah, plus it comes back in a neat way at the end.
Yeah, certainly. And again, I think I like most about this guy in comparison with all these characters is that I love he brings up with the New Yorker then bringing up. I like he asked the logical questions that are like, well, absolutely. If anyone was in this situation, you wouldn't like, how am I going to get down? Seriously, how are we going to get down? Again, I love he asked the logical questions all through this film.
I do like how the relationship doesn't seem forced. Like it's a natural progression of friendship. I do like that.
And he's very proactive too.
I mean, they both feel like real people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For us to do a crazy situation.
It feels like it's a realistic relationship. And also I like here that he did find a loophole against Stine's rule, like, don't cross the fence. She came through the fence. Why is Stine mad at him here? Coming up? By the way, speaking of Stine, I just want to mention he's about to pop up. But with the RL Stine, I like that it's a nice change for Jack Black. It's kind of we've seen Jack Black in various roles. He's usually kind of the laid-back guy, or like we have in characters like Poe. And this is kind of like a new role for him. I did like see him kind of stretch wings. It's kind of a parody of. Well, not. It's kind of like R.L. Stine, but you're what was said earlier when we were talking about kind of reflecting on,
I feel like he takes the delivery of R.L. Stine as kind of like the first stepping point of his performance, and then just goes way over the top with it, which is good. Way over the top in a good way.
I love this serious music just playing with Jack Black's just like a serious but hilarious character. Just like the bassoon in the back.
So I like the foreshadowing here, like you can't just lock me up all the time. I like all that.
Yeah.
But it's funny how that plays out. Yeah.
I like the Hitchcock framing of the window, throughout this.
He probably did. This is hilarious. The fence here. It's like he already has that boarded up.
He boarded it up quickly. That's for sure.
You know how she screamed?
Yeah.
He probably like opened up her book and was like sucking her in.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, that's
I'm kidding. That's probably not what he did.
But later,
no,
Stein
Sandy, I
says
actually think you're kind of right.
actually, doesn't Stein mention later though that she's not supposed, she shouldn't figure out that she's
Yeah,
like,
she doesn't know something. Something must have fell or something.
No, fair enough.
so I don't know.
She does
Well,
know
no,
that she's not real.
she knows, but he doesn't want her to know, so he hasn't revealed it.
Yeah.
But this is what I like. I like he's calling the cops. My biggest rant in this whole movie is coming up, by the way. So,
Dragon, okay, I will give you that. The cops are by far the worst thing in this movie.
I hate bad cops.
I don't like these cops at all. These cops are pathetic.
The worst part of the entire film, a stupid officer in
Yeah.
training jumping the gun like that pisses me off.
Yeah. Dragon, I am 100% on board with
Why on earth are the
you.
neighbors?
Champ, but these two are just the worst.
Just why on earth are the neighbors who called in present during the confrontation here? I hate that the guy's hitting on the training officer. He's a checklist of bad.
Do both of you guys agree with us? Do both of you guys not like the cops?
I could care less, honestly. I don't mind. I don't think they're necessary. I could care less. I don't mind.
I understand what they're going for, but it's just like they just play it like they just beat it over the head. Like, hey, these cops are idiots, you know.
But here's what's worse: they instantly side with Stine. It's like
They're not in that much of the movie for me to really care, or really, the one where it doesn't really bother me that much.
I mean, it's like look at this. How does she confuse audiophile with the other? I don't know.
He just doesn't know.
I mean, look, I know there's hearsay, but I mean, again,
I really don't like that joke. By the way, I think that joke's pretty damn distasteful.
I mean, there are various lies conflicting when they're outside, conflicting with the conversation with Hannah. Because again, Zach is conversed with Hannah. He knows that she's in the air and she hasn't flown off within like less than an hour. I mean, look, I know that there's hearsay, but again, and they could Stein could always ask for like a warrant or something, a search place. But again, suspicion that okay, you're abusing a child ever chained up somewhere. Again, at least warrants like looking into it. At least asking to look around the place. If you ask for a warrant, then okay, there's something suspicious going on here.
Of course.
I
No,
love
they're
how
taking the kid in. They're offering to help him file charges against him. No, it's like calling in a very. Oh, it's stupid. Now she's siding with the why? Again, there was even if it's a misunderstanding, it's very understandable. Okay, scream, come from the neighbor's house. You met the girl, something's off here.
Jacob, I get the feeling that Dragon wouldn't like the cops in Gravity Falls.
Probably not.
You just say he's on drugs. That's your. I hate these cops. Anyway. Also, the tase him thing I thought was really stupid, too. Just throughout the whole scene, just saying, should I tase him? I just want to punch that lady.
That lady should never be working in law enforcement.
No! Onto this little ray of sunshine.
I think this is a little more funny. I like how oblivious she is. Like, she's trying so hard to be the cool aunt, but, she's just a failure at it. I don't know, I like that joke. I think that's actually kind of funny. And this. Like,
this is not funny. Come on.
This is
No, it's not funny.
Funny's in the eye of the beholder, Dragon.
What?
One man's treasure, another man's treasure. Funny's in the eye of the beholder, etc., etc.
Let me quickly read it.
Points for subjectivity, Steven.
One more thing I want to rant about the cops now that they've left and they're going to get worse later on. Just real quick. I mean, with all the, I don't mind ineptitude. It's one thing to be inept. It's another thing just to be just completely useless and just like this. It's so ridiculous as it is in this film. But again, it's like it looks like they're trying to make a point that's in some way like city police are better than county police. I think that's Zach's mentality. Like, okay, well, I'm going to call the cops; they'll take care of it. Like again, New York's finest versus the county. It seems like a really insensitive message to say. Like, okay, the county cops are terrible.
Yeah, I mean, Dragon, I didn't really get that offset, but now that you mention it, I think it might be kind of like unintentionally a little misguided in terms of the humor.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Anyway, okay, I'm done my cops rant, guys. Sorry about that. I just need to get that out. That's my biggest problem with one of my huge peeves with the film.
I like Champ in a suit. I like that he's in a suit. It's funny.
How is a suit funny?
It's a unique look for him.
All right, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm just in a bad mood over the cops. I'm sorry.
And I'll absolutely agree with you on the cops, but
again, I do like how Champ summoned into this story. I just wish it was, I wish he's more, because right now what Zach does, he doesn't need Champ for any of this. Champ's literally saying, "I'm going to back out." Why is he in the story still? I don't get it.
Well, he doesn't really know anybody else in here other than Hannah, so...
He doesn't need anyone else. He just needed to look at her. He just instantly bails on him. So, okay, done.
he's in the story because Goosebumps stories need a goofy-ass side character. That's why. And for that reason, I am completely accepting of his character.
I love how he's just so angry, but he's like comes off totally hilarious. Getting in his little wagon car.
Why couldn't you just jump the fence earlier? Instead of bashing it down, he could have just jumped it like you did earlier.
Well,
don't try this at home, kids.
Again, I do like kind of the how in comparison to Champ, I do like how it shows kind of this this kid's kind of usefulness in the situation. I guess that's really the only thing I can say positively about Champ, really.
I like the fact that he's a bigger Goosebumps fan than Zach is. I like the fact that he really appreciates the books.
And again, nothing is done with that, which is my problem. It's just like, that'd be good, but they bring that up. Okay, he's a big Goosebumps fan, but
to do much with it because Dragon, I think you're giving too much credit to the complexity of Goosebumps characters in general. I think that's what your problem is. Goosebumps characters in general, by and large, are stereotypes.
well, here's the thing. I think if I were buying into Champ's comedy more, I might be able to give it that pass. But I don't know. That's the subjectivity, I guess. He's not that funny to me. It just seems it's not like.
He's not really that funny to me either. I mean, I'm not bellying over laughing at him. Okay, Cuckoo Clock and Doom.
Yeah.
First Easter egg.
And I do love exploring with the flashlight. That's always a good shot.
I feel like that Cuckoo Clock is like an omen that something bad is going to, like, terrible is going to happen.
I mean, I wish that bird looked a little bit more like the one on the cover that's all psychotic, but whatever. I still love the reference.
And they did the whole reaching behind cliche there.
Yeah, but come on, you got it. It's a horror movie. Every horror movie's got to have at least one of those moments.
I know.
It's a trope. But tropes. Hey guys, what would go good with a nice chocolate ear? A nice bowl of the new breakfast cereal, Matropes. Matropes. I'm totally stealing that from Movie Fights.
And don't forget the Massacre of '89.
The Twinkle Light Fiasco of '89.
Fiasco of '89.
Yes.
So many lives lost. So many lives lost.
Twinkle Light Fiasco.
No, he seems excessively cowardly to me. It's just
Okay,
like the
come
point
on.
of why is he
Would be walking around all the? I would be out.
Then why doesn't he leave? And look at how does he not? How does he not
If
see?
I had to walk around all those, there is no way I would walk around all those bear traps. I would not.
That's what I'm saying. He would go the other way. Why isn't he?
Because he wants to help Hannah.
No, because he's in it. I don't know. You got me.
That's a big problem with the story. That's what I'm saying. Whether I buy into the guy or not, it's just there's no reason he should be there.
They'll probably just stop the creatures from escaping that way.
Okay, I feel like I'm sorry. I'm just gonna point out.
No, I know the bear traps are fine. I'm talking about the kid.
Like
I love the bear traps. Bear traps are a cool touch.
That little golden mummy statue on the shelf is an homage to the Mummy book.
I think you guys are blinded by Easter eggs. That's what I think.
Dragon, I don't know any of the Easter eggs in here.
I mean, Champ isn't an Easter egg. I just like him because.
No, I'm saying with everything else. I mean, keep your Easter eggs from dropping every 5 seconds. That's fine and good. I'm just saying. I think I hear more Easter eggs than plot scrutiny.
Easter eggs as they come. Trust me.
I'm just hearing
Dragon,
that.
I wouldn't know these Easter eggs if they bit me on the butt. So don't let me in with that.
Stine does have a nice office, though. I'll give him that.
Yeah, very nice.
And I do love this. I love the idea of these connecting RL Stine with the manuscripts and the kind of the rebuilding to the RL Stine thing. And again, I wish they could have made. Again, it's like missed opportunity. It's not bad the way it's in there. It's a thing they could have gotten more out of it if they just kind of had more of a mystery built around, like why RL.
Ghost Next Door is one of the first books mentioned.
The Ghost Next Door is either.
Right. Yeah. I just think if they could have maybe expanded like the mystery of like made more of a mystery of like why RL Stine had disappeared, like went into hiding as the spine of the film, perhaps could have maybe strengthened some of the plot. I think. So we don't really find out why he keeps moving from place to place. Because the idea is like somehow the books keep getting open because R.L. Stine really just can't lock up the books or something. Just keeps them out for everyone to find. And again, keeps the key under a little glass thing. Hey, open the lock with this key.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, all that is definitely some pretty big plot holes there. I'll
Seriously,
definitely give you that.
I think that could have been a cool way of again, maybe kind of telling either like we find out like why R.L. Stine went into hiding. It could be kind of neat.
Right.
It'd be funny if his house was named Dead House or something like that. or you know, like there's a sign that said "Stay out of the basement" or something.
Okay, that I think is a missed opportunity. There should have been a sign that said "Stay out of the basement." Absolutely, I agree with that. Or Jack Black should have just yelled, "Stay out of the basement!"
Well, he does warn that there are bear traps. It's about all we get in terms of
I know.
that.
Why couldn't Jack Black yell "Stay out of the basement" at some point? That's all I ask.
I do love the ink. I love the ink idea and kind of the effect here. Like the page, the ink on the pages kind of forms the monster. I love that. I love that.
Sandy, you're ready for my theory?
What?
Wait, is Sandy even here? Hello?
I'm here. I'm here.
Just said something.
Can you speak louder,
My theory is that the ink is monster blood.
Really? Well, my theory.
Black,
What do you think of that, Sandy?
Actually, I have some information on that in this movie. The blob you see at the end was actually going to be monster blood originally.
Really?
Yeah, they just changed its color.
Okay.
And changed it to the blob.
Yeah, Monster Blood's like a big Goosebumps like icon. I don't know why they didn't use it here.
So you don't think the ink is monster blood?
Well, it's black. If it was green, I would, but it's black.
Yeah. I just think the way that it's animated is kind of monster blood-esque.
If a monster blood wasn't going to be in it, but for whatever reason, or maybe for story reasons, they changed it to the blob. That ate everybody.
Yeah, that would be cool if like the ink like transformed like green goo and formed monsters. That would have been perfect.
Maybe in the
Yeah, these are the
they'll
moments-
get into that a little bit more. Because
These
I
are
think
the
it
moments-
makes sense that the ink would be monster blood, just from a story perspective.
Yeah.
These are the moments that really make me dislike Champ here. He just don't make a sound. He just screams his bloody head.
What would you do in that situation?
Well, if someone tells me not to make a sound, or else the monster's going to kill you. Guess what? I'm not making a sound.
No, a lot of people would actually scream in that
But I
situation.
like the timing of that joke, though. I think the timing of that joke is funny.
Now, let me ask: do you guys buy the throwing the book on the ground, open the lock like that?
I don't mind it.
I think that's a bit of a buy. That okay, the book falls in magically, it unlocks itself.
Okay,
Well,
I
no,
actually look at it as maybe Slappy is unlocking the book.
Yeah, on Slappy.
What?
Slappy's like the most powerful monster. He's unlocking
Yeah.
the book from the inside. He's like pushing it open.
That's kind of how I felt, yeah.
Like
He's not necessarily the most powerful. He's just the luckiest in that he got out first, and he's making
well,
all the stuff.
he's the smartest. That means he would know how to unlock a book from the inside.
Yeah, Slappy
I mean,
is like the
And if
Joker
the
of
book
game.
is already unlocked, all he has to do is push the lock open.
The most powerful monster is probably the giant mantis.
Yeah, I mean the most
That's true.
powerful brain-wise. I mean he's the
Yeah,
smartest.
brain-wise smartest, yes, but size-wise and strength-wise, probably the giant mantis.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Blob, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Maybe
just.
the Blob.
Yeah,
I do love calling the cops out in this scene here. I love the next. I love locations in
You've
this
seen
video.
the cops in this town.
Yeah, that's a great line. I just love his pointing out that we met the cops in this town. It's a fair point.
Let's just be glad they get frozen early on. They don't try and stop everything, you know.
Yeah.
Well, again, they're being competent. That's why they're not showing up here first and foremost.
Okay, I love the,
Okay,
I love
giant
the
bacon.
atmosphere in this scene, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old
The
50s.
flashlight, the dark area here. Like we got the ice rinks. We have excellent sets in this film.
Yeah. They're like 50s, 60s ice rink like type bowling alley.
Is there a scarecrow in this anywhere? Is that
Yeah.
I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Oh, scarecrow.
You don't see him very much, but he makes a couple appearances.
All right. Ooh, Taro would have been an interesting one to reference too.
Oh, do you see the Executioner?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like I said, I never read or watched the original series, so you'd catch more of that thing than I would.
Yeah, you have to really keep a sharp eye out for the ones, for the monsters, because they only get a few seconds of screen time.
I like how straightforward this is. Okay, we got to recapture the abominable snowman. That's how kind of things start, and then we realize, okay, other monsters have gotten out. I kind of like that's kind of how we weave that.
One thing I don't understand is, like, she obviously knows that she's doing it. They try to stop her from doing it. That's what I don't understand.
If you wait way too long, though, I do love the M&M reveal of the vending machine here. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
That's
Well,
an
like
Amblin moment there. If you want to talk about Amblin-esque things, Amblin, the power of the candy.
They need to all be wearing Converse. That would have made it really nice. Because Converse are really big with the books. If you guys hadn't noticed before.
There it is.
Yeah, the whole range thing is kind of ridiculous here. She's not opening up. She should open that book up far closer. As we see the range later on, so you can open it from like way over there, and it's going to suck everything in there. You just open up where she is. The minute it takes a step off of that vending machine, she'd open that book.
Like I said, they're trying to stop her from doing it.
Well, they don't know what until he mentions open the book, suck them back in, which I think is pretty easy logic to comprehend. Though, okay, open a book, send the monster, open it back up.
Open it now! Open it now! Gosh,
that's what I'm saying.
Like when he gets close enough, then he'll get immediately sucked in.
Yeah. Open it now, you dope. I do love the hockey save. He's
close enough, gosh.
The hockey save is cool.
That's what happens when you wait. That's what happens when you wait.
Yep. So there's some issues in this scene too. I mean, again, I love the using the book as a puck, but later on there are moments like with the open in the book thing where there's unnecessary suspense. Namely when they're behind the little the what is it, like the plexiglass, they're behind the plexiglass and they're having a little victory moment. This idiot goes for the Zamboni. Who goes for the... Unless you're trying to kill someone, you don't go for the Zamboni. It's a little Deadpool pool right there for the folks out there. But unless you're going for that, you don't go to the Zamboni, escape a monster. What's wrong?
Well, that's obviously the joke they were going for.
Yeah.
Because even Zach and Hannah thought it'd be a good idea.
Well, no, even if the Zamboni did go fast, they have nowhere to drive it.
Yeah.
Well, be it just a quick diversion to get away, so who knows?
Yeah.
Running on ice is not easy.
This bugs me right here when they get behind this thing, the guy kind of face plants and seemingly knocked out. One, you either go for the book or you run away to get the book. Like pretty much the same thing. You run away, get the book. You don't just like, hey, yeah, high fives. Let's get a Coke after the game. They're done for. They're toast. They're done. It's the movie's over. Except Hannah, because she's okay because she's technically a ghost. So they're, yeah. But I do love Stine saving him in the end. That is really cool. I'll give him that.
And the reveal is nice too.
Yeah, it's an awesome reveal for Stine. Like, yes, and you are RL Stine. I love that car conversation coming up, by the way.
I know. I mean, like right here when he like you see him through the shot in his stomach.
Yeah, you're right. It's cool. Now we do get a glimpse of him here. Again, that swirling ink is such a good idea.
They're made from his words, so it only makes sense.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Symbolism.
Yeah.
I feel bad for this abominable snowman here.
Oh, he'll be fine.
I look at him. He's in such agony.
No, he's not in agony. He's just sad.
I love the intense look on Jack Black's face there. Now.
See, I love his deliveries on these lines. And Jack Black, I think, did a good job as kind of a fictional Stine. I do love the shut up runner with Champ because he's kind of speaking the audience in that case. It's like, shut up.
Sorry guys, I'm like California's in the middle of a rainstorm right now, and so my internet's kind of being really spotty.
Right now we're at the RL Stine reveal,
Well,
and I do
hold on,
love.
I need to just pull up the video again.
Well, we're not holding on. You're well.
No,
Well,
keep
I
going.
know you're not holding on. I know, but just don't
I
tell
do
me
it.
where you are quite yet.
I love how Zach's baiting.
Yes, I love that. That's again, it plays their dynamics so well. These two guys initially are not too crazy about each other, and over time it's going to get much better between them. But just these just
I especially love the like, good trying to be Stephen King, man.
just Stephen King wishes he could write like me. It's love him losing his cool about Stephen King. It's just,
Someone's jealous.
Okay, that is one of
you're
the
doing
best
the red
pieces
thing
of
with your
media.
face. You're doing the red thing.
Wait, what?
No, you're doing the red thing with your face again, which you just said to him.
That's one of the lines, like it was like him being angry.
Oh, I thought you were. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I love the Stephen King thing.
You're right. It's hilarious.
Look at that picture.
And I will wager to say, I think R.L. Stine. I don't know. I actually think it's kind of like the quality of work in between Stephen King and R.L. Stine isn't as different as you might think it is. Like if you compare their bodies of work.
Stephen King is, I mean, this is R.L. Stine is more geared towards a younger audience.
Sure. But of course, that's a great thing about R.L. Stine is that he actually is a good author.
Now, someone who's angry at you, ask for your phone, don't give it to them.
Too bad cars can't be locked from the inside.
Yeah. I think you mean outside. Wait. No.
Well, too bad they couldn't keep him in there.
Yeah, I'm with you there, yeah.
If someone who's angry at you, ask for your phone, do not give it to them. And they're in a moving car.
Wise words, Sandy, wise words.
That's just stupid.
Okay, give me the timestamp.
Sandy, help him out.
Hour 2:20 left.
An hour, 2 minutes, 20 seconds.
Well, it's soon to be an hour 20.
Okay, hold on. Oh dear.
That was a terrible throw.
It's an hour 2.
Okay,
Now.
let me know when it's an hour 01:30. Okay?
Okay.
Hour 01:30.
Okay, so here's what I'm saying with Stein here, in that we have kind of the explanation. I don't mind the vagueness of it. It's less about why I need more how.
Apparently, according to what I read, it's like kind of similar to an actual Goosebumps story, like a magic typewriter that brings things to life.
That's what I'm saying. I wish they just had one line about magic typewriter.
All right, Tiki. 1, 2, now.
Okay.
Like I said, I think that's actually a reference to. I think that might be like similar to an old Goosebumps story. I mean, actually,
It sounds familiar, Jacob. It definitely sounds familiar.
like a
Oh,
typewriter.
that's like
Like I said, that's what I heard. Like I read it on the wiki, and it said it might like similar to a Goosebumps story where things come to life through a magic typewriter.
and isn't R.L. Stein famous for using a specific typewriter? I mean, isn't that like isn't he like known for like, well, like read in the Wikipedia thing, like he grew up using a typewriter, so isn't that like in particular, and like. And there's like not many options available. It's famously, I think you might have like a specific typewriter he likes to use, which using this film, you could easily just say, okay, it's a magic typewriter or supernatural typewriter of some kind. That's how you get the monsters. Maybe it's fill your monster's blood. I don't know, whatever. It's just a little, actually, like a little one-line. I use a magic typewriter, but it's been passed in my family for generations or whatever. I don't know.
All right, here comes Slappy. Oh, yeah.
I do love that. So tell me, guys, I'm dying to know this from the Goosebumps aficionados here. Is Slappy intended to be a reflection of R.L. Stine usually, or is like a lot in common?
Just in the movie, not in the books.
Yeah, not necessarily.
What about in the books? Would he be considered a reflection of the person, of a darker aspect of the person who's holding him, or something?
No.
All right.
See, what I gathered from that was that it was one of Stein's most popular things would have. It's kind of where the releases come from. That's where they got it from.
I could go on a rant about Slappy being a really overrated character, but I won't because I think he is pulled off really well in this movie. So,
well, less about popular, I guess, more about just the idea of like creepy dumb was kind of popularized by Goosebumps, wasn't it?
Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, yeah, it was, but I think the creepy dummy thing, I mean, it's just a ripoff of Chucky, and that's why I don't really like Slappy as a concept. I think it's one of the laziest concepts. That
I'm
Goosebumps
saying,
has done.
wait, did the Goosebumps predate Chucky or no?
No. No, absolutely
okay.
not.
I think Chucky came first.
Yeah.
All right.
And of
Child's
course,
Play.
Talking Tina came before any of that shit.
Yeah.
I'm Talking Tina, and I'm going to kill you.
Funny thing, I actually just watched a list about best Twilight Zone episodes earlier.
Mhm.
That was on there. And then it's just kind of interesting how it shows that even burning the book doesn't have any effect on these guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Because who knows? They could have made it if you damage the book, it damages them, but nope.
I do like kind of the symbolism of the book burning, especially later on. It kind of symbolizes killing how books should be enjoyed, leaving only the adaptation, which is kind of is misguiding them.
Yeah, I hear that.
They make any sense with that? It's like
Or the haunted car here. Yeah, people are always saying, "How does Slappy reach the pedals?" But it's not him driving;
it's
it's
a
the
car. How does anyone not get
exactly.
that?
The car is
says
haunted.
How much more explanation do you need?
Haunted car, who cares? Yeah, basically, who cares?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of a neat meta idea of okay, well, we destroy the books and all that's left is kind of the books and how they're perceived. When you adapt anything from the source material, it's kind of might not be entirely in tune with what the book was intended to be.
So goes along with the whole meta thing.
Yeah, it's kind of being led by Slappy instead of like a director, if you will. They're being directed by Slappy.
These gnomes.
What do you guys think of the gnomes?
I like the way they're done.
I like them, but I wish they would have kind of retained more of the look they had in the original book, which you see at the end credits.
I like the way they're animated though.
Yeah, like they're ceramic and they're breaking apart.
Yeah, I do like the breakable.
I don't know if that's done.
Yeah.
I honestly love the way they're done. I think it's better this way because they look cuter and they look more realistic.
I don't know if that's computer animation or very good stuff. It's probably just computer animation, but I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if certain shots were close-ups of.
Oh yeah,
No, I think
Summer.
I think they're definitely not friendly. It's kind of funny. Just throws a knife at him. Maybe they're friendly. Throws a knife. Definitely not friendly.
I mean, and that's you can tell that you can tell Jack Black's just holding that to his face.
Yeah.
yeah.
I like that's bashing on the head with the pickaxe. See, look at this. Who comes? Champ enters a situation and makes it worse.
I love how RL Stine just falls on his face.
Well, at least
Here's a Gulliver's Travel reference. Remember, he made the direction of this film, did that film. Lenny from Shark Tale.
Oh, God.
I don't know a lot of them that actually have fires like that.
No.
Yeah, I'll give that. That's a buy. I mean, come on, let's give it.
This is a ridiculous trap, I must say.
I do love seeing this guy go to town on these. It's pretty cathartic.
Yeah. This would make a really good video game level. I'm sure it's in the video game.
I do love how they melt. That's awesome.
It's
This guy
horrifying.
really melt.
That's the thing. I love their animation, like how interesting it is, like how it actually looks like how ceramic would actually move.
And then this is the most interesting quality, I think, is how they piece back together.
Yeah, this is a good setup for later on. That no matter if you destroy these guys, are going to come back because they got no book to return to.
Now all they need to do is puke rainbows, and I'd be entirely happy.
There's your missed opportunity with the basement line.
Stay out of the basement!
Well, they kind of need to go through the basement, so I guess that's why they changed it.
I mean, that's why the sign when you go in there would have been better.
Yeah.
Right. I do love this line coming up. Why couldn't you make books about rainbows and unicorns? That doesn't sell 4 million copies. I will say, it's one of the few champ moments to do questions like worldwide, domestic. Shut up.
400 million copies. No, worldwide.
Yeah.
It's impressive. Shut up.
So that's the only time I really like James one being put down by Stein. I think that's funny. This I really like this. I know there's no way I don't think there's any way they could have done this, but I would have loved if this was the first reveal of the whole book burning thing, because it's a really great kind of build to it.
Yeah,
I see kind of the fire
understand.
trail. But I know
Right.
we kind of need Slappy Dude to demonstrate because he needs to destroy his book. So I don't know. It's you kind of need it.
Well, either way, I think it's a good kind of atmosphere
Yeah.
build.
Smoldering ashes. The smoldering ashes of a book.
And again, I just love that symbolism with the book of burning books is famously in history. It's always kind of it's a no. It's like, oh man, how could sacrilege or burning books? It's not
Okay,
cool.
there actually was a book called Revenge of the Living Dummy, so...
But not
I love
Slappy's
this
Revenge.
scene.
No, not Slappy's Revenge, but there was a Revenge of the Living Dummy. I believe that was the second one.
I love this scene here. He's just like, I wish this is how all of us could just drive on the road, just
Making
Now,
puns and causing mass
do you know if
destruction.
these Venus flytraps are meant to be the stay out of the basement plants?
yeah.
Yeah, they are? Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Because I don't really remember any Venus flytraps in that book. I more kind of remember, like...
Just evil plants.
Yeah, right.
Shame we don't have any useful cops here.
And I believe the flying giant bugs in the school scene are supposed to be from Stay Out of the Basement as well.
This is stupid.
Oh, God.
I hate this guy.
Yeah, I like the reference though.
Yeah. That's,
And the blob, and the fact that ties to the blob.
Did these guys not look at the monitors ever? Seriously?
But what I said I like about it is like how it ties to the blob and how it
It's a
ties to
good
the blob.
foreshadowing. Yeah, I should have... like, honestly, the blob that ate everyone is probably my equivalent to the Giant Man moment in Civil War. But
Really?
just like,
Come
oh my God, yes, they did it!
Come on, Tiki. That is not at all the equivalent.
It was for me. It was for me.
Oh, that's sad.
It's the blob that ate everyone!
God, I hate this woman so much. Shoot the thing. Shoot it. It's... I'll admit, that's a clever line. I like that. It's not gonna stop me.
What exactly are these things?
Yeah, what are they? Armed with freeze rays, I know that much. Look at
I mean, I think they're aliens from like a later Goosebumps book. I know it's not like classics Goosebumps. I want to say it's...
No.
I want to actually say it's one of the Choose Your Own Adventure Goosebumps books that the aliens came from.
I know that.
And the designs are very reminiscent of the cover. And this poodle, again, is also... I actually think this poodle might be from a Monster Blood cover.
this poodle
I think
thing
it's-
is purely put in there for fan services. There's no point with her right now.
No,
You know
I
what?
think
I'm totally
this
down
dog,
for the fan service.
Feed This Dog, I think, was from the book Don't Feed the Vampire.
Okay, yeah, you could be right.
I know they include. I know they includes like several monsters from like even books that just came out a couple of years ago, or even like a couple months before this movie even did.
I really think they should have redirected some of these cameos and make it a little more stronger in the plot.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like cut out the cameos completely, by no means. I'm just saying like make your cameos count a little more.
Well,
This
I
is
think we
gonna-
do kind of need to check in with the ant.
This would cost millions of dollars to fix. R.L.
No, the
Stine,
town's bankrupt.
R.L. Stine, you are now sued.
Oh dear.
Well, remember, he's getting the money for it though.
Not quite that much.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
Four
then he's,
probably
Yeah,
not.
he's in a great deal of legal trouble then. This is why these are more reasons I don't like champions. This is a dumbness. You know, like the whole, oh my god, my father. Oh wait, no, he's not my father, but that might be someone else's.
I personally thought that was kind of funny. I mean,
That's a dark.
I think it's kind of funny too.
That's in poor
I mean,
taste.
not really poor taste.
Yeah, it is a
Okay,
poor
no.
take, but I think that's kind of the joke of it. I can appreciate a dark joke like that.
Yeah, I mean, dark humor. It's kind of like dark humor done right.
Why couldn't Champ get eaten or something? Why couldn't the werewolf eat him or something?
I mean, like I don't really like him, but I think we're being a bit too hard on him.
I don't know. He's. But again, this is cool. I do love Stein and Zach. And
Just one story tied together every single character I've ever written into one climactic encounter.
oh, he's a keeper. Again, I do love this though. It's just pointing out.
Like, you have a better idea? Yes. Well, not now, but I will have one.
Again, it's like these two, they kind of need each other in a way. Like again,
Exactly, yeah.
It's like Stein doesn't want to admit that he's been one-upped by a kid.
Yep.
Now, this typewriter is from the blob that ate everyone, right? Typewriter. The magic typewriter is from the blob that ate everyone. That's how the characters come to life. Right?
I'd have to look into that.
Yeah, because that's what I've always thought is because the typewriter in the book, whatever you type on it, the words come to life. So
Okay.
That's why he needs that typewriter, because all the characters came to life from that typewriter, and anything happens.
Okay, I get you. I hear what you're saying.
So
Other
let
than
me.
that,
I
the reason
remember
why
the
he has
typewriter.
another
The
book
typewriter
too.
definitely is a reference. I just don't remember it was from Blob that ate everyone. Or
There
not.
is a problem with the typewriter here.
What?
But the thing I just want to know is how did he capture the monsters and create the monsters in the first place? Like, how did that all work out?
Yeah, well, the question is, where did he get the magic typewriter from? Because he just typed the monsters out in the paper and they came to life.
Yeah.
So where did he get the
At first,
typewriter?
it's kind of implied that they just came from his mind. I mean, without the typewriter, but then it's like, I need the typewriter. It's like, okay.
Well,
like,
the typewriter is said to have a soul, and hence it's just magic is trapped in the typewriter. But here's a problem with the typewriter. Why on earth is it at that school?
Yeah, exactly.
Because again, they move from place to place, and just randomly it's at a place to celebrate. Hey, we have RL Stine's typewriter.
I love this scene here with the Invisible Boy.
So how big a deal is the Invisible Boy? Because they're kind of setting things up at the end with him. Is he?
Honestly, not that big of a deal, but I really like the way they do it, though.
All right, guys, fun little fact here. Oh, this is Jack Black here, the Invisible Boy.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
Okay. Fun little fact.
Yeah.
A fun little fact here. And at the end of the movie, in the deleted scenes, it was supposed to be Slappy, not the Invisible Boy in the glass.
Well, that would make more sense if it was Slappy, but
Yeah.
I mean, if they want to set up a sequel, you need Slappy. If not,
Yeah. It was supposed to be Slappy's revenge typed out in the typewriter, so that
Slappy doesn't
that
have to
would've
be the
made
main
more
character.
sense.
He doesn't have to be the main villain again.
well, I'm just saying that it sounds more sequel-ish than Invisible Boy. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying that would definitely read more like. Ooh,
Okay,
it's
look,
time
if they're
for
going to
business.
do a sequel, there's plenty of characters that they haven't even touched on.
Hey,
Like I
I'm
said,
not
the
saying
two
you're
main
wrong.
ones would be Horrorland and the Haunted Mask. I think there's a ton of material.
All right, fine.
the giant mantis is a pretty cool.
I gotta tell you though, not his most creative creation though. Giant praying mantis. That's kind of the laziest R.L. Stine creation in this film.
Well, I do like the action it has, though, like how it destroys.
I mean, it's
everything.
cool looking. It's just like, really, that's just giant praying
I mean,
mantis.
Dragon, of course, it all has to do with, like, that. That's an iconic book cover, though.
Yeah, I'll take your word on that one. It's like, I can imagine it being again, it's cool. It just doesn't seem like really horror or like it doesn't really seem like really. Does it
I
do
mean, I
anything
will
else?
agree. It's definitely not the most creative, like,
It's like
not
from
the
Star
most creative
Wars.
character design, but like I said, it's really cool to see something like that because it's just like Shocker on Chalk Street. I would say is maybe one of the top 10 most famous Goosebumps books. I would
Yeah.
say it's in the top 10.
Yeah. It's like New Hope. They had like some fill-in monsters, and they had like a giant praying mantis. It has like a fill in the cantina for a while.
Right.
I'm just saying, yeah, it's not really whoever's working that day. You know, you just try to get out of work early.
I'm just trying to think of how hard that would be to animate.
I do. Oh, this is a great line. Just delivery by Jack Black here. Just
You know what I don't get? How those aliens freeze everyone, like in the store or like everywhere. There's no one inside the store.
my wagon.
There's cars everywhere. How is there no one else in the town that's not frozen?
I had such low mileage on it.
Anyone?
Well, I mean, how is not everyone frozen?
Yeah, there's like no one there. How'd they freeze everyone in that short a time?
Well, I mean, a lot of them were fleeing from the destruction and chaos, and they probably got frozen elsewhere.
Oh, that's right. They fled. Okay, all right. They were all. Okay.
It's a guess.
Yeah,
Got it.
that makes sense.
It's like this. Like Chan is trying to be like where Zach and Stein end up, but he's failing miserably. This bugs me too. Why are you drinking warm soda? What's to drink warm soda?
Well,
Very
we're-
minor, I know. I'm just pointing it out. Like it's not just he's going for soda; it's going for like warm soda.
I do like Jack Black being impatient with him, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's clever. Yeah, I like his impatience with Champ. That never gets old.
That is one of his few redeeming qualities.
Yeah.
How he
And
gets
again,
on.
the chemistry between the two is always really strong too. These two work well together.
Yeah, like I said, I like how it's not like doesn't seem forced.
Yeah.
It's like they're not like lovey-dovey all just yet, but they're like they're just like
You can tell there's a
they're
spark there.
Now, this is another complaint I have with the werewolf here. I wish it was a practical.
I called him Teen.
I wish it was a practical suit, man in a suit.
You're right. That would have been cool.
They could have done that.
Like it as much just because visually it's exactly like the werewolf in the book. Like I love the basketball shorts and the shoes and it's spot on.
I love that too. And the Converse, I love that he's wearing Converse.
Right.
I think it should have been a man in a suit. I mean,
I honestly kind of wish we would have seen him morph back into a kid at some point.
Well,
I think that would have been interesting.
It'd actually be kind of hard to make him.
This is a really good shot right here. The monitor reveal is really cool.
Sony product placement.
Oh yeah, it is.
Jacob, what were you saying?
I agree with you. I don't necessarily like for the look of the werewolf. I don't necessarily think it would have been that easy to do a practical effect.
Yeah, I mean, like look at the way he moves and like the whole backwards arms and the walking.
I know, but originally it was a man. They just put CG over it.
Yeah, but that still wouldn't work though. I mean, it'd be kind of hard, like the way he moves and like they had to make him move.
Yeah, but that's a guy moving. If they just put CG over it, so it's a guy doing all those exact motions.
Honestly, I'll tell you what I think it is. I think it's that if they went the practical route, they'd have to get some fancier camera angles. I just think they didn't have the time or patience for that.
Who knows? But if you look in the behind the scenes, it's a guy wearing basketball shorts doing all the werewolf motions.
Well, of course, they need something to kind of base off the animation.
Yeah. No, he's underneath this animation here. They just erased him.
Yeah, but Sandy, that's just motion capture. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying a practical suit would not be hard to do.
But the actual animation of it would be hard to do, though. You're right.
And it wouldn't be as really. Honestly, I don't think that would have been as convincing as it is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's practicality and then there's convincing.
Well, what would be wrong with a practical NCG wolf?
I don't know, but I think we're missing the point of this, and that's that the werewolf of Fever Swamp.
I know. I'm just trying to make my point. You guys are making it difficult.
Sandy, you're right. What else do you want us to say? You're right. Okay, it'd be great if we got that. We don't got it.
No, I was just trying to make my.
You made your point. You're very absolutely. You are correct. I don't know what else you want us to say.
No, nothing. I mean, if you feel like you guys are.
Okay, look at this, Sandy. Look at. Like, come on, can you really think that a guy in a suit can do stuff like this?
It should be. I'm with Sandy. It should be a mixture. Would be great, but they just didn't do that. You're right. It would have been cooler to see Sandy. You're right. I mean to put you. I didn't mean to come out harshly too. I'm sorry. But this is really awesome. Though. It's just shopping cart chase.
She's whistling to the wolf.
I keep calling this thing Teen Wolf, by the way, because it's wolf in basketball shorts.
I mean, Werewolf of Fever Swamp is kind of Teen Wolf played straight.
An American,
so, yeah.
You can call this an American werewolf in America.
right.
Yeah. Again, I like how the ant comes. I think I like the ant most here, where she just kind of. I'll admit, it's really convenient that she either owns or works at the grocery store. That's convenient, but I do like how she just kind of swoops in and then she kind of.
Talk about a convenience store.
The claw thing is really cool. That was neat.
Oh yeah.
The dog got dumped.
I do think it's kind of sweet that she and Stine kind of hit it off and like, oh, okay, Stine's been alone for a long time, knowing what we know later on. It was like, oh, okay, that's nice. The fact that it's established that she likes him too. Like she's always smells like a mint and something, like mint and something.
Right.
So anyways, seeing RL Stine kind of come out of a shell a little bit, it's kind of cute. That's
Hello.
Nice.
She's covered in poodle hair. I wonder what she did to that thing.
That's what I'm saying. I think she killed it.
No, she didn't kill it.
Wait, no, it's ink. But I know I'm saying it's ink, but she could have killed and then ran away, and then it comes back to life. I don't know.
What if she knows who RL Stine is?
Probably not.
Well, remember, she had a different name. It was Shiver, so she didn't know, like... She kind of kept it at arm's length. She didn't know what either name was, so...
Well, now he knows. Well, now she knows who RL Stine is, but it doesn't say she's like. She's like, "Oh, you're the author."
No, yeah, she doesn't. You're right. She doesn't know. Yeah, you're right.
100 million worldwide.
And again, more great sets. We had the grocery store, and now we have the cemetery. Again, some good. Again, I love the locations for action set pieces. And of course, the
set design.
Yes, great set design. Yeah. I'll admit, the champion thing does definitely sound like a nod to the book of like, oh, there's an ironic name for you.
Yeah, sure.
I like that. Again, I love that Stine's kind of raking him over the coals for it, which is really funny. We do get a nice moment here, kind of a neat reveal. I'm sure you guys, the Resident Goosebumps super fans, are like, oh my god, they're doing this from the book, which I've been there for in comics, but I'm just saying.
Of course.
I've been with different stuff, but yeah, this is really nice. Like, the air catching on the thing, and again, it's kind of a callback to when she's swiping the blood away from his head. That's again, it's not forced. It feels natural. This is what kids, your high schoolers would do, I guess.
Yeah.
It just feels natural, obviously in a PG way, but it still feels natural.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd kind of like to see this movie, the sequel go PG-13 in a way. Not like in a ways of like teenager doing anything, but like in a whole terms of like scares and plot devices. Like I go PG-13, I wouldn't mind to see.
Even the ghost effect looks kind of nice.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. What do you guys think? So you'd like to see a PG-13?
No, I think
I don't necessarily think we need it.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, like, look at something like Gravity Falls. It's like Gravity Falls.
It kind of needs to be PG, Jacob. To be in the spirit of the books, I guess it needs to be PG.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Because, like, at the end of the day, this is a kids' movie.
Yeah.
Yes, Sandy?
Oh, no, RL Stine, that's just something he said at the beginning of the production. Like, it can't be too scary.
I guess that makes sense.
And I still think they can, like, kind of ramp up the scary imagery in the sequel without going to PG-13.
Yeah. I mean, Courage the Cowardly Dog was scarier than this, and that was for 7-year-olds.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Eon's more scary than this.
You got to have one fat joke in a Jack Black movie, right? You got to have.
Oh, come on!
Okay, I love this whole gag about Champ running off. I can't believe you would take me up on that offer. Who does that?
I can't believe that. What monster takes someone up on an offer like that? I just love how this. He's such a writer, I just love how he's such a writer in the moment. That RL Stine. Well, of course he is a writer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Adds a way with words.
And unfortunately, Anne here, she just doesn't pick up on someone's saying don't you say, you just stop talking and then you run the other way. She doesn't quite pick up on that, so she continues the sentiment that after you play the whole Sergeant Slappy thing, it was just pretty funny.
Yes.
To protect and serve. Don't do it. Don't say it. You said it.
Frozen.
I wish you could have done that earlier.
It's definitely say freeze.
Slappy loves
What
puns.
killed the dinosaurs?
The Ice Age. Thank you, John Leguizamo. Now get moving.
Time to kick some ice.
I mean, that is a really good scene here. And again, I think if we kind of stress the father thing a little bit more early on, I think this would have had more of a payoff. But still, as it stands, is a good scene, though.
Yeah.
And I love that they're kind of, the revealing the truth about Hannah's, for years he was alone and created a daughter, essentially, which is really sweet. Mm-hmm. That's why he's been so overprotected. It's like the only kind of, not even human contact. You really feel for RL Stine. He's been such a lonely guy over the years.
Yeah, I really like how the movie kind of peels back the layers of his character. Because at first, I wasn't entirely convinced that he wasn't the villain the first time I watched this movie. The first 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just for stuff like this, I wish the movie is more of this, really. I mean, again, it's more of this with the monsters as kind of like what's kind of driving us to these moments, which we kind of have, but we kind of muddy it up with some other things, I think. Just saying, that's my 2 cents.
I don't like. I think we get just enough of. I don't know.
I'm not saying a lot. I'm just saying a smidge more. Like we could like some of the unserious exchange for more like kind of plot-driven characters. I don't know.
Just like cut the cops out, essentially.
Well, cut the cops and some of the ant stuff. And honestly, I know you see it. Apparently, it's necessary, but the champ does. You could have cut a lot of champ.
I'm not saying Champ's necessary. I'm just saying he's like a fixture. His character arc is like a fixture of the book. So.
Honestly, I would have exchanged Champ for either more time with this stuff, more time with him and Hannah, or at the very least, I don't know, more development on.
It could be possible. It could be possible. Once RL Stine was famous, he decided to donate it, so he wouldn't be tempted to write more books.
Well, I mean, yeah, but again, why is it just conveniently at this school that we're now always moved from place to place?
Right. He went to this school when he was younger.
Oh, come on, that says reaching.
Well, maybe he brought it with him and he just puts it far away from him whenever he moves. But he wants to have it with him in case something happens.
Well, maybe.
I actually like that idea. And he just donates it to every high school he moves to.
Yeah, but it's actually his, but he just puts it on display.
Well, right. Can you really, you donate something, they say, hey, I want my typewriter back. Can you really do that?
Well, as I said, it's actually, what if it was actually his? He just let them have it.
The Shining gag is great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a good.
Shining gag is, I don't know, it's a little on the nose, but it's clever. I don't know. Yeah, it's
reference to.
I think it's on the nose in the right kind of way.
Yeah, it's like.
What do you know? What do you know? Jack Black, Jack.
Exactly.
All right, now here's where things really start picking up.
On.
What's doing? I mean,
usually the dancing's better.
look at this guy.
Now this one thing does kind of, like Ken Marino, I just wish he doesn't do anything in the movie though. It's just kind of like he's about to hit on him.
Yeah, he just kind of hangs out. Yeah.
I just like that act. I'm not saying he needed to be in the plot, but I just like him.
Yeah, the PE teacher was supposed to have a bigger role if you've seen the deleted scenes.
Oh, really? That makes me sad. Why can we cut out some champ stuff and give more Ken Marino?
and so was the guy that was dancing, the kid that was dancing, he's supposed to be the bully.
Well, not. Oh, right. Well, okay.
Now it's not the time.
Yeah, look at this kind of being direct. It seems like he kind of has them for. I like that they, after they have undeniable proof, they don't just say, no, it was later, just not panicking and being a nuisance. They are actually kind of helping the kid out later on, and I like that. Again, I like kind of the excising of the bully subplot, though, so we don't have to. It's like we'd be wasting time the cliche of bullying the new kid. I mean, look at him. Does he look like someone to bully?
Right, exactly. No, I agree. I'm really glad we didn't get that.
I'm more impressed they didn't bully Champ. I like that they the girl. Exactly.
Let's just say I'm glad this guy gets eaten. Gets taken by.
I wish they kind of. You think RL Stine would have said don't kill him, or you think it's just
so proud of himself?
I said I'm glad the bug took that guy. I'm honestly glad they took that guy.
Do you like that he comes back at the end? Would you like to be ambiguous if he? Because I kind of. I don't know, because if
I like that he comes back.
Okay. Yeah.
It shows that no one died actually on screen during this film.
I wonder if Stein specified that or not. Make sure no one dies in the movie.
Well, still, I'm just glad.
I love how Slappy can turn his head all the way around like that.
Oh yeah.
Kind of an exorcist homage.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah, they're here. I like they're all kind of rallying behind the one guy who knows what's going on here. So, okay, let's do what he says. Even the principal's okay, we're not going to, no skepticism. Let's do it.
That's actually an anti-cliche, because almost everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay, here we go. Here's kind of, man, I still need to study this more, because I'm sure that there's creatures in this crowd that I haven't noticed yet.
I love this. I love this kind of juxtaposition. RL Stine's working on this. He'll be done in 2 minutes, and he's just
exactly.
Everything is quite literally spiraling out of control. Get it spiraling. The books are catching on fire.
Yeah.
Spiral pattern.
I do like the shot of Slappy in the fire
Yeah.
before the
Oh,
Slappy.
gee, there's so many Easter
Oh, you
eggs.
saw the haunted mask was there skipping down to the car.
Oh, really?
Wait,
Okay, so
wait,
that's
what?
really-
What?
You saw the haunted mask, the girl. What's her name? She was-
Carly Beth?
Yeah, she was in front of the crowd skipping along.
Is she wearing the mask?
Yeah, in a blue dress.
Oh shit! Okay.
Hey, so what do you guys quantify as the
Look
twist?
at the left. Watch for her.
Okay. On the left.
There she is. There she is. Okay.
I didn't catch it. That's okay. I'll go back and look for it.
What do you guys think? Is the twist the ghost reveal, or is the twist the hand breaking?
I would say the ghost reveal is more the twist.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay, because
Great shot of Slappy.
The hand breaking is more of an inconvenience.
yeah, I mean, the hand breaking to me is somewhat of a. If they didn't play it like this, I'm saying it struck me as if, like in Pixar, they have the matchstick where like you think, okay, well we have our instant solution, and then how are we going to do it now? It's not the same thing here. I'm just saying it's kind of my point. Like I like the idea of like breaking the writer's fingers so he can't write.
Yeah, I don't think his fingers were broken. I think that's an exaggeration on his.
No, they say broken.
Well, I mean, if his fingers were broken, he wouldn't be using them later, and he does use them later.
Well, no. Right. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying like he says broken.
It could just be like an unusable pain.
Yeah, like he really like.
Well, he
thinks
he thinks they're broken and they're not working properly. So that's
they're crushed.
That's the gist. Yeah.
I mean, if it feels, sometimes it can feel like they're broken, not necessarily be broken.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure. I'm just saying. Anyway. I will say this: as much as I don't like Jim, I do like how he saves the girl here. I just wish he would shut up afterwards. I love the reveal of like, okay, silver fillings, and that hurts the wearer. I think that was kind of cute. It's like, okay,
yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
That's fun. I just wish he just says like, I never brushed my teeth for a whole year, and that's how I got them. What? Don't stop talking. Then the girl, for some ungodly reason, kisses him after hearing that.
Yeah, exactly.
That I don't buy. This I'll buy. I'll buy biting the werewolf with silver fillings. Hurts him, scares him off. Over pretty girl kissing the guy after saying that he didn't brush his teeth for a year. They just stop there, kid. And then it goes on with the teeth.
Oh, God. I love how the girl finds that charming.
And I'm on him getting the girl. I just wish you would cut the dialogue in half.
Yeah.
And again, why was he reacting like this, man? I don't know. I'm nitpicking on that. I'm sorry. Moving on. Yeah, if the kid was mute, I think I might like him better.
If the kid was what?
Mute, I think I might like him better. I don't know.
Champ?
A silent movie. Yeah, if Champ was like, it reacts in terror instead of speaks.
Now that clown stayed in character all through the production. He never broke
Really?
character once, according to the cast.
Yeah.
I don't
Feeding
remember.
the ever-growing clown
Sandy,
epidemic.
do you know what book the clown's from? Because I don't remember him.
I can't recall either.
I assume
I
he's
know
a
his
more
name is
recent
Margaret
addition.
the Clown, though.
Well, there's a Stephen King reference for you.
What was it?
No, I'm just saying the clown, just the Penny looks very much like Pennywise.
Very much so, yeah.
That and in The Shining and stuff, it's a little bit.
And that's kind of like another reason, like how he's compared to Stephen King earlier, like unbelievable.
I think it's such an interesting idea of like breaking or enabling, taking the fingers away from the writer for the story's purpose. That's a cool touch of like, okay, that's how you stop the good guys. That's how you throw a wrench in the plan. See, he says broke, but he doesn't know. If he's not a doctor, who knows?
Well, I mean,
again, Hannah's very handy. She just kind of makes the tie into like a splint.
Well, I mean, he kind of does understandable how his fingers probably would be an extreme pain. It'd be kind of hard to write with that. But after just like, have you ever had your fingers slammed into something like that? Those would kind of hurt.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The plants.
Yes.
Of doom.
See, he's bending his fingers back and everything, so they're not broken.
Sure. Then again, this movie, I wouldn't trust this movie with continuity, Sandy.
All I'm saying is I don't think they're broken. I'm
I
just
mean,
gonna leave it at that.
There you go. Let's just, points. Fingers are not used or not in using condition.
Now, how does he get rid of that giant plant with that little briefcase? I mean, what?
There's typewriters in that briefcase.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a little typewriter case. Either way, I mean,
Right. Now, some of those, that's pretty much, is that all practicality walking down the hallway in that one shot?
yeah,
That looked really nice. I really love the whole. Do you know what the big thing was next to the mummy? Like the huge thing in the hallway?
The swamp monster.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. It looked awesome.
That was actually a last addition to the monsters.
I don't know. Like I think it's because of Swamp Thing. I just love that look. Oh my god, it's so cool looking.
Well, maybe it was the bug monster. The bug monster, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, that clown is pretty freaky.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, now we have to, remember, you see a clown, you gotta scare that clown, man.
Oh, God. Oh, the fucking creepy clowns.
There
This
is some
is a really
heartfelt
clever
stuff going on
plan.
here. Yes. Yeah, yes, this is, and I love that how, I like how the kid's proactive. He's gonna have some good ideas. Like, okay, let's make a bomb. This whole the bus ruse is really clever. How we just we distract and we blow them up as we get our kind of our prime package. Sorry, the shut up guy is still hilarious. I just love that it's delivering the same insult, but still really in a lighter kind. Oh no, I'm sorry. Shut up.
Oh yeah,
That's
that was,
funny.
he's a yeah.
I'm telling you, I don't mean to keep repeating. I just don't have a whole lot to say because I'm a huge Goosebumps fan. I just love our kind of a trio of actors here. They all really work well off each other.
Bring him to me.
And they're lingering on that clown.
Yeah, they do.
There was like, we're really proud of this design. We should use it. We should show it as much as we can.
I honestly don't really like the design just because it's so similar to Pennywise.
Well, it's a clown.
This movie is kind of like a horror.
Well, yeah, I know it's a clown, but just it's so similar to Pennywise, though. I mean, there's ways to do clowns that don't look exactly like Pennywise.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I know. I guess it's like a reference for those who know what Pennywise looks like.
Yeah, sure. Plus, it's generic enough that okay, well, it's it's a clown, or if you know it, you get it. It's Pennywise. But again, this whole little plan here I thought was really clever. Plus, a cool looking explosion from the distance, too.
I love this this camera shot going from the two buses.
Yeah, it's not bad. You don't really need movement of all your fingers to kind of drive the bus, do you?
Yeah.
Well, I would hope not.
I don't know.
Chemistry. Don't try this at home, kids.
Yeah, they pulled a Breaking Bad there.
Yeah. Okay, see,
suppose,
that's what makes me think it's Monster Blood.
What?
The ink.
Well, I mean, it was black.
Yeah, I know, but just I don't know.
Like, I'll take your word on Monster Blood's going to be the better solution. If they do a sequel, they just always say what's in the typewriter is Monster Blood. I don't see why not. Just it's a different color.
Sure.
Or the next one, they could just
I don't necessarily
just say
mind, like, if it is Monster Blood, I don't mind that it's not green, because honestly, I think if they did it green, it wouldn't make sense in the context of having it be ink. So I think they could still call it Monster Blood.
I mean, it would seem that next story you do with this ones would be, like, maybe explain kind of the typewriter, where it's coming from, or else just have a new monster be the focus. If you want to just, then we kind of go back to understand, like, where the magic's coming from, RL Stine. That could be a way to go for this.
I'm still thinking Horrorland might be, because Horrorland is the main Goosebumps series going on right now, so I'm thinking Horrorland is going to be a major presence in the sequel, but that's just a guess.
I just say I love the shot of him in the mirror.
Yeah,
that's great. That's cool. I love this coming up here where he's going to be in, like, all the kind of the fun house.
It's
mirrors.
very Baby Doll-esque, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, wait, are you guys talking about Goosebumps, baby, or are you talking about Batman the Animated Series?
I'm talking about Batman the Animated Series, baby.
Good. That's a good jam. All right.
I've seen that, I just don't remember that episode. I mean, I've seen it, but I don't remember it.
That's a great one.
I know it's a. I know
Well,
it's
mainly
a,
the ending.
I know it's a Paul Dini episode. That's about as much as I know about it.
And again, these shots are great, especially coming up. We have kind of a half and half shot. You're right, Tiki. He's kind of baby doll-esque. Only not shooting the mirrors.
Yeah, right. Without that element to it.
Wait, that's a great thing there. I wish they kind of could have explored. Tell me if this is deleted, Sandy. If there was a more exploration to how Slappy and Stine were kind of drawn from each other.
No, not that I saw. There wasn't anything.
So
But
this
how
was
did
your
you-
giant
I-
man moment, Tiki.
Yes, this was my giant man moment. Yes. Because
My
I was
question-
totally not expecting them to go to the blob. I should have expected it because of the blob reference. I should have expected it. I think it's such a good payoff. I love it.
My question is, how is Slappy was able to teleport around like that?
Well, yeah, it's just basically it's like kind of a trick of the lighting, and you can he has creepy dummy powers. That's the gag.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of shown that. All right, now he might be right. I don't know. But they said this was actually originally supposed to be Monster Blood, but they changed it.
All right.
I don't necessarily think it would make sense if it was Monster Blood.
I have no
Well, I
idea
don't know,
Monster
I mean,
Blood, so I'm going to take your word for
Like
it.
I said, I think they just changed the scene around and changed the way the blob was
Uh-huh.
and changed it into what it was and turned it into the blob instead of originally being Monster Blood.
Let me say two things here. One, I like the higher ground payoff. Okay, now we're going to the top of the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
And also, I really like kind of Slappy's point he's making here, like just being unable to, you're so close to being free, but you're trapped.
Now, I don't know why they did a CG Slappy in this shot when they could have easily done just the regular.
Well, it depends on the expression, Sandy. Sometimes you have to. Some dummies can only work so well, especially in unison. Sometimes they can only practically do so many things at once. Because it depends how the arms and legs are moving. Because sometimes it's untenable.
I'm not getting what you're saying, but but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Sorry. But I really love this. I love that they turned it. It's like RL kind of guiding, and Zach here kind of saved the day. Just telling me, the ending's there. Just write it. Importantly, just kind of it's like save. Putting trust in the kid to kind of save the day. I like that.
There's that poodle again.
Yeah, this is a really good finale. Really good setup.
And here's Tiki's worst fear coming up.
What, Ray Romano's penis?
No, his second greatest fear.
What?
See, Tiki, why did you? Now you have to explain things now.
Don't explain. Don't explain. I don't want to know.
Okay, don't explain. Point is, Ferris wheels.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Think of the Spider-Man villain, Big
Oh,
Wheel.
God. Oh, God.
Who is a giant Ferris wheel? I'm not kidding.
I love how Slappy's just watching it go down the hill. Like, wow.
It's like, oh, come on.
I mean,
Thinking
of
the
course
range
the
thing.
physics of this are entirely, unrealistic, but whatever. It's really cool.
I mean, look, it's enough of a buy. I'll give it. Okay, well, I mean, again, there's a lot of. They can buy the Ferris wheel. Fictionally, might not kill them.
And it's going to be how he landed right at the ground, right?
Here's how I see it. We're in a movie where monsters can't come to life through a magic typewriter.
Exactly.
It's mysteriously durable. That's all I'm guessing. I think it's mysteriously durable. I don't know why.
I think we can basically throw reality out the window with the whole book thing.
Yeah.
Hey, this is kind of Hannah's sacrifice. This is a nice figure of those actors. He won't open the book, and she just kind of does it for him here. It's a sad thing. I will say this though: the dance thing came out of nowhere. She just saw a dance, and now she just says, "Sorry, we didn't get to have our dance." Like they're trying to be Captain America all of a sudden. You can't. There's no dance through line.
He could have just said all the monsters were swallowed back into the world of paper and ink except Hannah. But of course,
Well, I don't know.
know.
Well, they were kind of in a rush.
He didn't think of it until then. He kind of forgot. He's like she's real to him. That's why he didn't think of it.
And they were also in a rush.
Yes.
The mummy being
Now,
pulled away is pretty
I
fun.
wish we got to see more monsters here. We only see a few. Mostly zombies and gnomes.
There's the clown.
The clown. Yeah, there's the scarecrow, Jacob.
Yeah. I hate that Carly Beth is like in, like I'm freeze framing the trailer and I can't see her. That's how little she's in the movie.
You find her though?
No, I haven't.
Oh, he found his glasses.
Did you find that Carly Beth, Tiki?
No, I haven't.
You haven't. I'll send you a screenshot.
Okay, cool.
And I feel bad for these two because kind of the desperation. They're like, maybe if you hold on, she'll stay. And it's not going to be true, and they kind of know it on some level. It's sad.
Cockroach? Is that?
I do like the somber ends of this whole thing coming up. Of just like it's going to be the three of them left in the circle. Of like, it's over and we lost someone essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the slappy thing here. Is a Stine.
Yeah.
Slappy's not happy.
I love this.
Stine.
I love this bit here, but the music should be louder, I think. There we go. Seems pretty happy for going back in the book he despised.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again,
that's just Slappy's personality.
Think about that though. If you had if he was in the setup at the ending, you could have had like he's somehow still in Stein's mind.
What'd you say?
I don't know how it would have worked, but if you wanted to put Stine in the place of the Invisible Boy, it could have been that he's happy to go back in there because he's going to somehow found a way out of the book and he knows it now.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not huge on the elf music in this one. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it doesn't really shine as much as other stuff. But at moments like this, it does. Yeah, it's good. And I kind of appreciate the somberness of this ending. I like how we have a really good, nice kind of light payoff coming up this kind, but it's over.
Yeah.
And it shows you like the little look between Stine and Zach here of like, we both lost the person we care about. It's
Oh yeah, Tiki, she's cut out of the trailer. The shot is too close up.
Damn it.
Yeah, she's like her arm is in the first frame. Dang it, she's almost there.
I'm just so glad
maybe it's
we're in a moment here as we're in the aftermath of what happened.
Don't worry about it, Sandy. I'll find it. I really like this ending, though.
I like there is a sense of aftermath of all that craziness went down, but we still got to go to school.
Exactly. Yeah, right. It's not just like, well, shit, that was a crazy weekend. Back to our normal lives now.
And this is nice. It's not really founded in much, but it's a nice moment of just like he's walking in, not worrying about the mother getting out of the car, the vice principal / mother getting out of the car with him. It's kind of a nice. Yeah, it shows progression. I just wish there was a little, could have been found a little more, but it's in the beginning, it's in the end. It's fine enough. It's cute.
Oh, I see it, Sandy. I got it.
You got it. It's here now.
Just showing he's settled in now, and it's shown that they've moved past a lot of stuff. And Stein's now he's an English teacher, and this is the moment I like that Stein's kind of found someone. He's getting out in the world more. He's not just a recluse in the house.
It's surprisingly good character development for him.
Yeah, and I think it's the idea that Stein he's lost that one person who wasn't even technically wasn't real, and he's without this kind of realized I need to kind of interact with more people like those two kids kind of went and stirred up all this stuff.
Can he just write Hannah back into existence?
Which he does.
Yeah, right.
Just saying.
I think he could have realized that sooner, though.
I mean, he already did it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you don't know how soon he did it.
All right.
I assume instantly, but it's. Yeah, I think it's a realization though of like, okay, well, she should live her own life, and I should also live my own life too.
Mm-hmm.
And this is great. I like hearing like RL Stine kind of 101 here. Like, there's the beginning, the middle, and the twist. And I just love this. I love the mentorship in the scene. He was looking at Zach and Zach and like, hey, you can do this, man. There we get the cameo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Great.
That's kind of like passing on the torch almost.
Uh-huh.
And again, it's because of my favorite dynamic. I just like that scene where they started the film, seeing now where they've ended. Like now they're kind of have each other's backs in the school, and they're just kind of saying, they both are kind of bonding over. Yeah, we lost.
I just noticed in the behind the scenes that it shows as soon as the real RL Stine was out of the shot, he stopped right next to the wall, and you can actually see him slow down in the shot to stop next to the wall. If you watch closely,
this is nice. I like kind of the little unfinished thing, like the kind of the old adage of the author always has one last story in them. They're like, what? That was the last story, but you know what? Get a little happy ending, a little more.
Yay!
And he burns the book too. They burn the book, make sure this ending's permanent, man.
By the way, there's actually a deleted scene of him finding another girl, like in the scene. He meets another girl and basically just forgets all Diana. I'm not kidding.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I am so glad they cut that out.
Yeah,
thankfully
they cut that out.
It's a total slap in the face because he thinks that she's another R.L. Stine character and he's mean to her, but then he realizes that she's not, and he's all yeah, look it up. Look it up.
That's like the alternate ending for American Beauty, where the kids are framed for Kevin Spacey's murder.
But again, it's really.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But again, really nice how he was so overprotective. Like, don't even come on my side of the fence. Like now, just like giving the wave off. Like, you do have fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really nice arc.
The Invisible Boy's Revenge. You forgot about me.
And now we have the really cool kind of covers we got going.
Oh God, it's so awesome. I love it.
This reminds me of House of the Dead. Like the game.
A little bit, yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
And it goes through all the books here in order. And there's
didn't the story writers didn't the story writers do like Ed Wood? Alexander and Larry Karaszewski?
They might have. I got to look at. So funny, I was watching something about Ed Wood today. Now you mentioned
I forget what that is, but that's definitely a thing. The flamingos are okay. Here's the original design for the gnomes right here.
That was Ghost Beach there. The ghost that was flying up.
Uh-huh. Okay. Right. Yeah.
So you guys just fire away with what these covers are.
Shocker on Shock Street. I love this. Yeah. Again, Dragon. This is a very famous cover right here with the praying mantis.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, it looks a lot better than. I'm saying it looks more intriguing than the other praying mantis. It almost looks like a generic praying mantis.
Which one's this?
That's Stay Out of Basement.
Yeah, Stay Out of Basement. Yeah.
I really have to read these books, don't I?
Oh, there's a cool looking scarecrow for you.
I mean, I've just seen the episodes. I haven't even read the books.
What's that's the scarecrow?
Scarecrow walks at midnight. Yeah.
That's the
Werewolf Fever Swamp, of course.
Yeah, Julian Bell's the one I didn't like as the ant until her moments with Stein. There's
Jack-o'-
Ken Marino.
The Jack-o'-lanterns. What's that one?
I forget what the walking Jack-o'-lanterns.
Night of the Jack-o'-lanterns or something?
Yeah, Night of the Jack-o'-lanterns. I think that's it.
Pasadena Snowman.
And that's the most accurate to the cover right there. I think that's the most accurate cover, is that image with the snowman and the light post.
There's Slip.
Now this isn't a very accurate cover.
No, actually, no. This is a very accurate cover to the original Night of the Living Dummy book. It's just Slappy's face.
That actually is pretty creepy.
Yeah, I see now.
I think it's very accurate.
Yeah. I thought he had brown eyes there because he has brown eyes in the movie, but he has green eyes there.
That's for creepy effect.
I just think the light flickering on him is pretty creepy.
Yeah. So the dummy gets his power, the jump scare. Oh. That's done.
Oh, you say that like it was a big chore.
No. Again, I like this. I didn't think it could have been better. So.
Oh, man. Final thoughts, everyone, I guess?
Well, then make it long. We have 5 minutes of credits to talk over.
We don't have to watch the credits.
Well, we're going to talk through the credits. We're going to wrap up during the credits. So someone go first.
Oh, okay.
Come on. I'm Zack Snyder. Come on.
Sandy, this is your thing. You might as well do it first.
All right. Yeah, I like this movie. I'm not gonna. I can't get over those things. Like the plot holes and his dad, and just the RL Stine's whole backstory. I can't look past that. I try to. I can't. It's just it just bugs me. It doesn't bug me to the point where I can't enjoy the film, because I really can. I love again the Amblin feel, the old 80s or 90s style they're going for. I think watching it again, Tiki, Jack Black does do a really great job. He's not as it's not as hokey as I remember it being. The supporting, well, I guess the main characters, Zach and Hannah, or Dylan and Odea, really great actors. I still think Dylan's character was a little bland.
I'll disagree with that one.
Jack Black did great as RL Stine, did great as Slappy. The designs on the monsters are really creative. I love how they did practical effects. I really don't care for Champ that much. I think he's just there just to make little kids laugh. Which I feel bad for the actor too, because I know he gets that a lot. He gets a lot of crap for it. So that's why I'm just gonna try and look past it. But great movie. I love the score. I love the directing is pretty good. That's it. I like the movie. I like the movie a lot. That's it.
Okay. Well, you know what? Again, I'm still mixed. I'm still conflicted with the film. I'll admit, I still have reverence for Goosebumps. I'm glad I saw the movie. I didn't really have an excuse to watch a movie until we did this thing. So, I'm glad at least I gave it a shot. And again, there's really good stuff. I just think there's potential for it to really be a good movie. I really wanted an exploration to R.L. Stine, have him be kind of his story be kind of a center point, like perhaps like a whole honestly, the crux of the film is kind of hoping to see.
I think we could do a whole podcast on sequel potential for that, though.
It's like basically what I was expecting from the film. I think the reason I'm probably a little let down is that I was really hoping it was going to kind of have like a sub thing, like a theme of just showing how kind of someone like Zach or whoever a protagonist would be kind of learn the importance of R.L. Stine, what he did, and kind of have an impact on each other, vice versa, which we get a little bit of in this film, but it's not exactly to kind of the broader extent I would have liked this to show. Again, we have that, and I like what we get of that. Again, I just think we need a lot of all those plot things that really kind of distract me. I don't know. It just didn't really ease me into Goosebumps the way I was hoping to. But again, I still like Goosebumps to the extent I did beforehand. Not any more, not any less. But again, we had some really good performances. It's well cast. Again, the effects and the monster designs are cool. Again, it's pulling from the Goosebumps books. I'll give them that. Again, cool monster ideas and designs. It wasn't as bad as I was fearing it was going to be, but it wasn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be. So again, I'm still 50-50. Sorry.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. My last, Jacob, have you given your final thoughts, Leo?
No, not yet, but
Go ahead.
I pretty much stated my thoughts at the beginning of the movie. That I still think this is obviously I don't have any nostalgia towards Goosebumps or anything, but I still think this, despite not catching probably a lot of the references and other things that I could have seen in here, I still think this is a very enjoyable, entertaining movie to see, and I mean, it gets me. I consider it to be my gateway to the rest of the Goosebumps.
Yeah. I still think this is probably. I'm probably. I don't know. Me and Sandy are probably the biggest fans of this, just because we're both Goosebumps fans in general. So I think that makes sense. This is definitely a fanboy-esque movie. There's a lot of fan service in it. But I think it's a better movie than it maybe should have been.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, just like given the fact that it's a Sony movie and it's a kids movie, and
what does the fact that Sony have to do with anything?
I plead the fifth on that one. But I know, just the fact that I just think there's a lot of pitfalls that this movie avoided. Like, it doesn't have any crude humor except like the one fart joke that lasts for like 5 seconds, so it's like whatever, I can excuse that. It barely has any pop culture references. Again, it has very, very few, you know, it's like there are some exceptions, but overall I just think this movie is really well executed. Jack Black's character is he's really well done, and I don't know, I don't have a lot to say that hasn't been said before. I really like it, and I really think that it's a very good, it's a very, very good fan servicey type movie, and I still think this is a much better example of fan service than Jurassic World. So
I still disagree with that one.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I'm an even bigger Jurassic Park fan than I am a Goosebumps fan. So, anyways, all right. So I guess that is it, folks. Well, our spirits grow. I'm sorry, guys. I'm confusing it. Well, our spirits grow weary this evening, but don't worry. They'll be back stronger than ever next time on the final edition of this year's Haunted Holiday Hijinks.
I could do a better maniacal laugh if I wasn't living with other people.
Maniacal laugh.
Happy's not happy!
Even
Let's have a Haunted Mask in the sequel.
Oh,